The NFL schedule release is tonight, but we've already had a few more leaks. The Chiefs are coming to Jerry World to face off against the Cowboys on Thanksgiving Day. There is also an unconfirmed report out of D.C. that the Cowboys could be playing on Christmas Day on the road against the Commanders. That'll be on Netflix. We'll find out tonight. You can catch it all right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star beginning at 7 o'clock.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz on a hump day.
Hump day?
Yeah. Happy hump day, everybody. Hope you're having a great day out there. It is a nice Wednesday, although it's a little hot outside. But that's okay. We live in San Antonio, so it doesn't matter. It's supposed to be hot. Oh, my goodness. I'm excited about today's show. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix has got the day off as he celebrates in Phoenix with his daughter who graduated yesterday. So he's going to have a good time for a couple of days in the hot sun there in Phoenix. We're going to have a good time here today because we've got so much to talk about. NFL schedule release day. Another day for the NFL to have a television show. It's fantastic. They're making a habit of doing that, and there's been a suggestion that they add another one. We're going to get into that coming up here in just a moment. Another TV special for the NFL. That would be a lot of fun. I'll tell you about that coming up here in just a moment. James Pledger is here today producing this fine show and sitting in his glass box of fun. Always appreciate Pledge hanging in there and helping me produce the show today.
And I appreciate you.
Well, thank you, Pledge.
Bringing in lunch today.
Absolutely. I did. Went to old Billy Miller and got some chicken strips.
The old Texans tight end?
Yeah. Well, you know, that's a debate, right? It's not Bill Miller's. It's Bill Miller barbecue, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not Bill Miller's barbecue, but everybody says Bill Miller's barbecue.
Because it's Bill Miller, but it is a chain. So you're talking kind of is like I'm going to go to Joe's. You're
Right.
just one Joe, but I'm going to Joe's.
Joe's house, so
Yeah.
I'm going to Bill Miller's house. All right, I guess that makes some kind of sense. I always say Bill Miller's, and I said that one time, and somebody corrected me. No, it's Bill Miller. I'm like, well, okay, who gives a damn? You know where I'm going, right? I mean, you know,
want some chicken strips or not?
Exactly. Yeah, because I don't go there for barbecue, Pledge.
I'm with you on that one.
Well, I mean, unless it's the little chop sandwiches are all right, but the chicken is fantastic at Bill Miller's.
I like their turkey.
Yeah, turkey's good, and sometimes I don't know if they have it all the time. I noticed on the menu they've got a new pulled pork sandwich, which we'll have to try out eventually.
All right.
Yeah, it looked good on the picture. You know how that is.
McDonald's looks good on the picture too.
Yeah, it looked good. Right. So it looked good. I'm gonna have to give it a try. And sometimes I don't know if they do it year round, but they'll have like tamales. Like tamale dinner. I'm not sure if that's just around the holiday season or not, but
Are you going there or Davalos for tamales?
well, I'd probably go somewhere else. Although, you know, Dairy Queen surprises you with the tacos. Bill Miller might surprise you with the tamales. You never know. You got to try things with an open mind, Pledge.
Is there anything else that we pronounce wrong in multiple contexts like we do Bill Miller's?
Well, Jacob Eric brought it up on our YouTube page right now. Please go there and subscribe to our YouTube page. And you comment there. Whataburger or Waterburger?
It's what a burger.
Right.
Whataburger.
Right, Whataburger. But I heard a lot of people say Waterburger. I mean, so that's
how
another
you pick out the Yankees.
I don't know, man. I've heard a lot of folks with a southern accent say that. Waterburger. Need a Waterburger with cheese. It's a lot of things out there, so it's cool. But Bill Miller's chicken strips were fantastic today, so we had a good lunch, and we've got a good show for you. I got to tell you guys, all you guys and gals out there that are listening, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're driving around this beautiful city of San Antonio, however you're listening, Thanks for joining us today on this beautiful hump day.
Hump day?
Yeah, we appreciate it. And I had a conversation with a guy in the gym this morning.
Uh-oh, was it Ray?
No, it wasn't Ray. Wasn't Ray. Guy's name is Paul. He's a developer, and he's a really nice guy. And I see him in there all the time. We don't usually talk much, but we say hello. And I overheard him talking about the mayoral race that's coming up on June 7th, the runoff. And he said there was a forum last night between the two, Gina Ortiz-Jones and Rolando Pablos. And his words, these are his words, all right, these are not mine, but his words were, boy, if she wins, the Spurs are leaving. His words. And I said, well, really? I said, well, why do you say that? And he said, well, she's not in favor of this new arena, this new Project Marvel. And she makes that pretty clear. She says there's still a lot of, things that they need to do on the east side and things that need to get done over there. So I got to thinking, I don't know either one of them well. And technically, I don't reside in the city of San Antonio. I'm in one of the smaller cities throughout the San Antonio area. You know what I'm talking about. And so I don't get to vote in the San Antonio mayoral election. But he says he hopes everybody gets out and votes, and they vote for Rolando Pablos. So it got me thinking that we ought to have these folks on and find out exactly their thoughts on Spurs Project Marvel and Spurs Arena and just where they sit at this time. So I went to the very best, Elaine Rodriguez.
There we go.
Who is the producer for the Trey Ware Show.
Producer extraordinaire.
Extraordinaire. And she's been in that seat for a long time, and she knows everything about everybody. So she's working on it. So we're going to see if we can get one or both of those candidates on the air at some point in time here before June 7th. Preferably, if it's tomorrow or Friday, that'd be great. If it's next week, that'd be okay too. But it'll be interesting, and I want to talk to them. But he really he scared me. And I tell you, I ought to just get this dude on the air because he's telling me, remember we had the conversation, if you joined us, if you don't remember, Peter Holt early last week came out and was talking about the arena wouldn't cost San Antonio taxpayers a dime. It would still be he calls it the hotel occupancy tax.
Yeah.
Right, that's still in place. I think rental cars as well, and it would go something like that.
Paid off the Alamo Dome in a year or two,
very
didn't
quickly.
it?
And I think the upgrades to the convention center also was a big part of that. He was telling me today, and I said, that's interesting because when we're talking about this and we hear the conversations and the comments from Peter Holt, all of a sudden we see this bad term called property taxes, and he goes, I know. He goes, I know, but it's not really property taxes that will affect you at your house. And so he was trying to explain it to me. It's a redevelopment zone. The city gets property taxes on that land already. They'd get the same amount, but as the improvements went up on said property and those taxes increased, those taxes would actually go to Project Marvel. So that's how he explained it.
So like a property tax on the businesses on the property?
Well, no, the property itself is already taxed, whether there's anything on the building or not, right? You buy a piece of land, you got to pay property taxes.
Sure.
So that's there, and the city would keep that as it is. But if you put a building on that property, so obviously the property goes up in value, and whatever the land was before you put that building there, the city would keep getting, but what's new would be what would go to Project Marvel. Does that make sense?
So
if
they're taxing it twice?
No.
They're taxing the property itself and then the building on it?
All right, here, let me try to explain this a little bit better. So you're paying, say, $2,000 for the property taxes right now with nothing on it.
Got it.
Okay, that's going to the city. All right, and you put a building on it, and all of a sudden the property taxes go up to $5,000.
Okay.
That extra $3,000 is going
all
to
to Project Marvel.
Right.
But the two goes to the city.
The city keeps getting what they got.
Got you.
So that's how he explained it to me. So it's not a new property tax on anybody's home or anything like that. So that made me feel a little bit better about that. And it also got me thinking, Pledge, that the Spurs and the city, if they want this project, need to get their butts out and explain this to people. because nobody knows. And we're talking about all these technical terms and all of this kind of stuff. And I'm like, man, it explained it to me. And see, it took you a while too.
It did. It did. And I'm sure there are a bunch of people like me, but I'm not a news connoisseur. I'm not ingesting a lot of that. But you want, let me get this right. You want the Spurs to be forthcoming with information?
I do, yes. It would be nice. If they want a new arena and the city wants Project Marvel, then yes, they need to start getting transparent. And so we'll see what happens. But I think first is first, and they could be waiting for what's going on with this mayoral race before they start any kind of, to see who wins and to see what if they've got an ally in the mayor's office or not.
And I wonder how much this has an effect on it, because I looked it up just now because I saw a news piece that made me, I watched the news once. But it was one of those headlines that got me like to lock in to like, oh, what's going on here? And it was like San Antonio budget crisis or something like that. And I looked it up. Projections indicating that the city of San Antonio could be facing a $31 million budget deficit by just next year that could increase to $148 million by 27. And I wonder how much this has an effect on some of their thoughts about Project Marvel.
Well, it could have, and that's why I'd like to get both of them on the air so they can explain if they're for it or against it and why on either side. So we're working on that. And I'm hoping it happens sooner rather than later. And then obviously it's got to happen before June 7th, because after that, you might not be able to talk to anybody. But while they're running for office, they're more willing to come on the air and explain their where they're at and how they're doing it and how they came to that. So I'm hoping to get that done. It's just a fascinating talk this morning that I had with this guy in the gym, and he's a really nice guy, but he is a developer, and so he kind of knows this stuff, and he was explaining all this to me, and now I feel like I've got a little bit better grasp, and it doesn't take that much, and if I can understand it, then anybody can understand it.
Hell, if you can make me understand it,
right,
then anyone can understand it.
Exactly. So, I mean, people just need to know, and then it's kind of like this whole debate we always have with legalized sports gambling. Just put it on the ballot. And then people can decide if they want to do it or not. You throw out the facts and you throw out everything that you need to know, and then you let people decide. And if they decide against it, they decide against it. If they decide for it, fantastic. But either way, it should be up to the people, but the people should have all the knowledge that they need to make an informed decision. And I lay that squarely on the feet of the Spurs organization and the city of San Antonio. You got to be transparent about this. Where's the money coming from? How's it going to work? And then people can make up their own mind.
And I think it's more important now than ever, because the first time they came to us with this, they were winning titles.
Yes.
It's a lot easier to sign off on a championship winner, a contending team. Like all of these things, it makes it so much easier to get for sports arenas, upgrades, things like this, all passed on ballots, because the entire city is wrapped up in how good the team is. That's how the Golden State Warriors got their brand new Oracle building over there.
Exactly right.
You win titles, it becomes a lot easier to pass this.
It
now,
does.
When you haven't been to the playoffs in 7 years, all of a sudden those things not only harder to pass, but also a lot of people are more skeptical about how the money is being appropriated within the city. And I do think it is at least wise right now for the Spurs to have some forthcoming with the information regarding a Project Marvel and just enlightening the people to, when it does get on the ballot, make it a much more easier pass than what it at least feels like it would be right now in terms of people that are sternly against it just because like the Spurs aren't winning. Why am I going to pay for this? Like,
people in this town are going to be against a lot of people because they're just against everything. That's the way it works. It was the same way with the Alamo Dome, with the Frostbank Center, all of that stuff. And that's going to happen. You're going to have people that are going to vote against this regardless.
But the people that would rubber stamp it, Spurs fans in general, they're going to start hearing words like property taxes and stuff like that.
Exactly right.
It's going to change their minds.
And that's what I told my friend this morning, and he said, yeah, I know that. And he said the city's got to do something about that. Now, he is of the opinion, it was just his opinion, that the Spurs and the city are kind of waiting to see who wins the mayor's race, and then they will that they've got some money allocated for a PR campaign, but they want to see who's in the mayor's office, and then that, I guess, would make it a little bit better. But always taking you guys' thoughts on this at any time, because this is a topic that obviously is going to come up quite a bit. 656-3776, 656-ESPN. You can also tweet at me or X me or whatever it's called these days, at Joe Reinagle 210. You can comment on our YouTube page, which a lot of folks are doing right now, and they have some comments about this. And Fred Villarreal is trying to school me, and I appreciate it, Fred. Don't get me wrong on the whole property tax thing and the investment and all of that stuff. And I appreciate it. But if you got some thoughts on this, we're willing to hear it. Pledge and I are going to play a little game today. We're going to make you the GM of the San Antonio Spurs, because there's been some more trade, I guess you would call them mock trade proposals for the San Antonio Spurs for that number 2 pick that they currently hold. And there's one of them I got to tell you I really like, and it doesn't involve Giannis.
Am I swaying you to my side?
Well, I like it just because it's not as expensive, and the Spurs can do other things along with this, but they still get a big piece of the puzzle. So we'll talk about that, the NBA playoffs as well. But first, it is NFL schedule release day, and I'm happy about that. So all of that's going to come out. But the Cowboys have a big one coming up on Thanksgiving Day, and Dak Prescott talked on the radio today about a couple of things. We'll hear from old Dak, and we'll get your thoughts on what you think about the Cowboys playing on Thanksgiving Day and who they are playing. We'll discuss all of that and a whole heck of a lot more on this great Wednesday in San Antonio as we continue on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I love you, Dak.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is gearing up to send you to the Austin City Limits Music Festival. 9 stages, 2 weekends, and more big-time artists than at Texas Tailgates. October 3rd through the 5th, and again October 10th through the 12th in the live music capital of the world. We're talking Sabrina Carpenter, Hosier, Doja Cat, Luke Combs, The Strokes, John Summit, Doechii, Fate, and a whole mess of other stars lighting up Zilker Park. Listen to the Morning Huddle and the Blitz this week for your chance to win a pair of 3-day wristbands to Weekend 2. We're picking one winner on each show this Friday, and every qualifier scores a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom at 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. Cold drinks, hot pizza, and ACL wristbands. That's a Texas-sized jackpot. Want to lock in your tickets now? Head to aclfest.com. All this week, it's ACL giveaways. Only on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
John, what do you think about these tariffs? What do you think is going to happen? Well, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. The prices on used cars have suddenly come up because the cost has gone up. And at GiveMeTheVin.com, we're paying more. Go to GiveMeTheVin.com, put in your license plate, and see for yourself. We're paying more today than we were yesterday.
Toward our low-cost degree and certificate programs. We call that credit where credit is due. For over 75 years, our dedicated success coaches have been helping service members achieve their goals. Get started with local support and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATS.
Imagine selling your home and getting paid before and after it sells. It's like getting paid twice. Jason Minix here from San Antonio Sports Star. You can do that with Orchard. Orchard puts cash into your pocket so you can buy your dream home. Then your Orchard experts prepare and market your old home, including repairs, showings, even price-boosting upgrades. And here's why Orchard's the best. When your home sells for more, which happens 9 times out of 10, you get that cash too. It's almost like getting paid twice. That's why Orchard is the smarter, faster, hassle-free way to sell your home. Orchard can unlock cash from your old home to use on your new home. That's payday 1. Then you buy your new place, and once you're in, Orchard sells your old home for top dollar. You get that money too. Boom, payday 2. Learn how you can make more with Orchard. Start with your free home valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like frames. Because you found a classic 70s concert poster. But when you went to get it framed, you realized the frame will cost about 4 times the amount of the poster. Which is actually absurd because no one will be looking at the frame, and if they are, then you severely overestimated how cool this poster is. But then you remember by switching your home and auto to Progressive, you could save hundreds and put it towards a classic 70s concert poster in an absurdly overpriced frame. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
The Lion and Rose at the Dominion, your daily happy hour spot from 3 till 7 p.m. 250 drafts, wine, wells, and bites from just $5. Big screens, bold flavors, and a patio made for post-game hangs. Lion and Rose at 23330 West I-10.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Calling all snack MVPs, it's time to huddle up with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, the low-carb, high-protein snack with a flavor-packed crunch. From sea salt and cracked black pepper to hot honey, sweet barbecue, and more, these bold bites are ready to tackle your crunch time cravings. Find your flavor playbook at H-E-B and make every bite count. Because when it's crunch time, there's only one snack you need on your team. Southern Recipe Small Batch.
George gets justice. The accident wasn't your fault, but now you're facing pain, bills, and uncertainty. You don't have to do it alone. At George Salinas Injury Lawyers, they listen, explain your options, and fight for what you deserve. No upfront costs, no stress, just real help when you need it. If you've been injured, it's time to get George. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Yeah, happy Wednesday, everybody. This is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinigle. Jason Minix, he's off today. We got a lot to talk about. We've also got a lot of stuff to give away. Pledge always puts a list up on my monitor in here, and we've got, is that Leonid and Friends at the Aztec? We've got Missions 4-pack tickets to give away. Mudvayne at Techport. We got Brahmas tickets to give away. We're going to do that. And, of course, we're going to qualify another lucky person for those ACL Festival 2025 tickets. Weekend 2, October 10th through the 12th. The fellas on the Morning Huddle got their third qualifier this morning. We've got 2. We'll get a third today. I'll do that during the 5 o'clock hour, though.
Those qualifiers come with a bonus, don't they?
Absolutely. If you qualify, you get a $50 gift card to the Mellow Mushroom at 1604 and Stone Oak. So if you qualify, you're a winner either way, but we'll qualify 3 more people here on the Blitz, and then we'll pick a winner Friday afternoon from those 5. So somebody will walk away with what's a hell of a prize. I mean, my goodness, with 2 wristbands for this, 9 stages, 2 weekends, all kinds of people out there. Sabrina Carpenter, who may or may not be wearing clothes. Hosier, Doja Cat, Luke Combs. I mean, the Strokes are out there. John Summit. A lot of people performing there at Austin's Zilker Park. So keep that in mind. Don't know how I'm going to do it. Yeah, I made it easy on you guys yesterday. It was pretty
I liked
easy.
it, though.
It was pretty easy.
I like the whole pay attention.
Yeah, well, you got to pay attention because you just never know. I may say something and then say, what did I say like back then? And I'll remind you. So we'll come up with something here pretty soon. We just started this great show today. I mean, we're just getting this train rolling. It hadn't even gotten up to speed yet. We got a long way to go and a lot to talk about. And I appreciate all the comments on our YouTube page about the Spurs and all of that kind of stuff. But we're going to talk more Spurs, and we're going to get into the trade possibilities in a moment. But it is the NFL's day today. It is scheduled release day. That's going to happen tonight. You can listen to that, by the way, right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star if you're not near a television set. A lot of leaks already, though, and obviously the big day, one of the big days, is Thanksgiving Day. And I love Michael Martinez. He says, what? Cowboys playing on Thanksgiving? They always play on Thanksgiving. Duh, I know that, Miguel. But it's who they're playing that's exciting. Pat Mahomes, also known as Patrick Mahomes, and his Kansas City Chiefs are coming to Jerry World on Thanksgiving Day. 3:25 kickoff on CBS. And I'm going to tell you what, that you talk about, that game's going to get eyeballs anyway. But the eyeballs it's going to have on it between this is going to be outstanding. And you might not be surprised by this, but if you were so inclined to make a bet on that game today, the Chiefs are a 4.5-point favorite.
Jerry, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to do me a favor, Jerry.
What's that?
Listen in.
Yeah.
You're about shattering records, doing everything you can, playing up the whole Thanksgiving aspect. We had Creed one year and Black Eyed Peas one year. Different people have performed at halftime during Thanksgiving. There's always a concert. It's always a big deal. I need you to call Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Find out what it's going to cost.
Oh, my gosh.
You want to shatter records?
Stop it. Stop it.
You want to shatter records?
Yeah, stop it. Stop it. Taylor Swift. Hey, I'm a Swiftie. I am. I like Taylor Swift, but I don't know about that. But who knows? Jerry's going to come up with something. Either way, this game is going to shatter records. I've already seen it all over the place. I mean, it's going to shatter records. It's one of the most watched football games of the year anyway. But then you have the Cowboys and Patrick Mahomes. And I did not know this. Patrick Mahomes has never played a game at Jerry World or anywhere in Dallas as a pro. He never has. This will be his first game as a pro playing in Dallas. So that in itself is going to be exciting. There's also reports out that the Cowboys and Commanders, Cowboys at Commanders, by the way, will play on Christmas Day on Netflix. So that has not been confirmed. We will have to find out tonight. But that's going to be very, very interesting, to say the least. But you got to figure Thanksgiving Day, that's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully both of these teams are still in the playoff chase. I think Kansas City most likely will be. I worry about Dallas being there. But who knows? Hopefully they both are, and this is going to be – that would make it even better. So anyway, that was leaked, and it was kind of a fun thing. So tonight, the rest of the schedule will come out unless there's something else that pops out before now and then, and we'll certainly let you know. The other piece of news regarding the Dallas Cowboys was the fact that Dak Prescott was on the ticket in Dallas today, and he was talking about a couple of things, because we haven't heard from Dak since really the offseason. You hear pieces here and there and all of that kind of stuff, but he was talking about his new wide receiver, George Pickens, and Dak kind of likes it.
Yeah, we've connected, and I'm excited. I mean, you turn on the tape and you see a guy that can catch the football. You put the football anywhere in his vicinity, very strong hands, more than a 50-50 catcher. He thinks it's his ball when it's in the air, and I'm excited for him. I know that we need some help in that position. I know CD needs some help, and I think when you have a guy like that, and I heard George said, it's hard to double team two guys, and then when you've got other guys, whether it be Ferg, Jalen Tolbert, Mingo, guys who have had reps and know how to get open in the league, I think we're putting together a nice group of weapons.
And it's hard to disagree with that. Of course, he's talking about Jake Ferguson when he says Ferg. I think you guys know that. But he also talked about, if you heard that, and Pledge pointed this out to me earlier, that he said Pickens said this. So he was obviously listening to his conference call. And you wonder if these guys listen to stuff like that or listen to the media at all. And they may tell you they don't, but, yeah, they do. So he was listening to that George Pickens conference call that we played a little bit of that last week. Dak seems excited about that. Not only does he seem excited about that, but he seems pretty excited about his new offensive lineman as well, Tyler Booker.
He's actually represented by a guy that represented me coming out early, and Rick Roberts. And so as soon as we drafted him, I'd gotten a call from him and the excitement and able to connect with Tyler. But I think you nailed it, a guy who loves football. And I think when y'all interviewed him or anybody interview him, you hear it through his answers and how much it means to him. I mean, just him wanting to take the love away from the love of football away from a guy throughout a game to his history and his journey to get here. I mean, a guy leaves high school to go down to IMG from North. That says a big commitment. So I think all of this and him being with the Cowboys is just a testament to everything he's done in his life, and I know he's ready for it.
Well, I mean, if you're Dak Prescott, you got to be pretty excited. You got another offensive lineman, a big fella that is going to replace Zach Martin most likely, and then you've got a new wide receiver too. So you got to figure Dak is a very happy camper right now, and I don't blame him. The other guy that's got to be a very happy camper is not a Dallas Cowboy. He happens to be a Baltimore Raven. He should have been a Dallas Cowboy, but he's not. Derrick Henry today got a 2-year, $30 million extension from the Ravens. So it's going to keep him there through 2027. $25 million of that is guaranteed. It is the largest deal ever for a running back over the age of 30. And I thought that was interesting. And I don't know that anybody can dispute that or say he doesn't deserve it, because he played his butt off last year and was a big part of the Ravens' success that they had. Just opens everything up there. For Lamar Jackson and that offense with the way he was running the football. So Derrick Henry gets another big extension today, $30 million, 25 of that is guaranteed. So that kind of gets you caught up a little bit on what's happening in the NFL world. Obviously, I want to talk a lot more about the schedule release because it is a lot of fun and another show for the NFL to kind of show off and say, yeah, we're the king of the mountain, and it's not even close. But we got to talk about the San Antonio Spurs and their off-season possibilities. Pledge put out on Twitter and Instagram yesterday after the show. He put out that proposal that one of the sites proposed for Giannis, and we talked about it on the show toward the end of the show. If you weren't with us, said, man, that seems like a lot. I mean, I know Giannis is a future Hall of Famer. I know this, yada, yada, but that seemed like a lot. And the responses on X and on Instagram, probably about 70-30. We'll tell you which way that went. We'll talk about the Spurs' possibilities. We'll also talk about Duke politicking the Spurs to take one of their guys. We'll tell you who that is as well. And we'll do it as soon as we continue right here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. What a weekend it is going to be. It is going to be a great weekend here in San Antonio, and that means you ought to dust off the golf clubs and get out and play some golf out at the Golf Club of Texas. Get out there and enjoy the great outdoors and enjoy that beautiful golf course because, I tell you what, the money they put into that place, they have dressed it up so fancy. It is shiny. Let me tell you, it is a shiny place. Brand new cart paths all over the place. They've sodded everything, and they've got some xeriscape to just kind of pretty it up on the fairways and stuff. It really is nice. Not to mention the fact it's a fun golf course to play. Challenging, but fun. It is the Golf Club of Texas. It's not a private club, but it certainly feels that way. And then let me tell you about the Tin Cup Bar and Grill. That place is outstanding. The food is outstanding. They've got every kind of drink that you want. If you want a drink of any kind, they've got it for you. They can make it for you. And they've got a lot of beer, either on tap or in bottles. So you're not going to go thirsty when it comes to the Tin Cup Bar and Grill. That's for sure. Get out there. If you haven't been out there lately, I'm going to tell you, you haven't been out there. And you know exactly where it is. The Golf Club of Texas, right there off Briggs Ranch Road, off Highway 90. Whether it's for dinner at the Tin Cup, around with your buddies, how about having your next tournament out there? Go check them out. Best rates are always online at golfclubtexas.com. That's golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle, we've got a full NFL schedule release to look at.
And are we waving goodbye to Golden State? Lots to talk about. Basketball on the forefront. Get here early. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
At the Institute for Functional Health, we are dedicated to helping you live life fully, playing with your kids, golfing, and feeling great without relying on pills. We're not about treating symptoms temporarily. We're about extending your health span, the years you live in good health. I'm Dr. Torres, and for over a decade, my team has transformed lives by tackling health issues at the root. Tired of medications without real answers? Take control of your health with us. Call 210-468-1891 for a free Discovery Day consultation or visit iffhealth.com. Improve your health span today.
Looking for a place with character, cold drinks, and real Texas charm? Pull up a chair at the Lion and Rose in the Dominion. This local favorite, run by the Tharp family, serves up Southern hospitality, military pride, and seriously good food. Happy hour daily from 3 till 7 p.m. with $2.50 drafts, select wine, wells, and mimosas. Plus, tasty bites from just $5. Big screens, bold flavors, and a patio made for post-game hangs. Now open at 23330 West I-10. The Lion and Rose.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Progressive knows owning a home can be hard, but not always. Like when you're relaxing on your patio, enjoying a nice, quiet evening. So quiet. Except for the sound of the neighbor's party. Which you said you'd go to if you weren't busy. And your quiet night on the patio, that's not exactly busy, is it? Maybe you should just stay inside. At least Progressive's Home Quote Explorer lets you easily compare rates, so shopping for insurance is the easiest part of owning a home. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-499-9102. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-499-9102. That's 800-499-9102. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
NFL schedule release day. It is official. It is here. Another day for the NFL. And we just got confirmation pledge on the Christmas Day game on Netflix. The Cowboys will play at Washington. And the Detroit Lions will play against the Minnesota Vikings in the late afternoon game. So the Cowboys will play at noon on Christmas Day, and then the Lions and the Vikings will play at 3:30 on Christmas Day.
That's very interesting.
It's a great two matchups,
well,
both of them, divisional matchups.
Think about it. Both staples for Thanksgiving are now playing on Christmas as well.
How about that? I didn't put two and two together, but that's what you're here for, Pledge. Good job. So we'll get the rest of the schedule released. That was Adam Schefter, by the way, who put that out there. Saw something else, too, that's interesting as we transition into the NBA and the Spurs. Kendrick Perkins has a tweet out here, and I got to find it again, and I will, where he's talking about the Spurs. And he says, his tweet says, if the Spurs decide to keep their pick, the number 2 pick, he says Trey Johnson is their guy at number 2. He says he would fit well alongside Wemby and Castle. Trey reminds me a lot of Chris Middleton, according to Kendrick Perkins. So that's interesting. And I know Trey Perkins is certainly in the top 5 of picks, of potential picks. So Kendrick Perkins thinks the Spurs, if they keep the number 2 pick, should go with Trey Johnson. So that just kind of throws us into the Spurs offseason and the possibilities and what they may or may not do. If they do pick that, if they do keep their number 2 pick, obviously they're going to get a good player. There's no question about that. So they'll get a good player, but will that player be able to come in and help right away? That's always the question when you draft somebody. Some guys do, some guys don't. Now, as we mentioned when we went to the break, Pledge put out there was a trade proposal, and do you remember the website, Pledge? Was it Clutch Points?
It was The Score.
The Score. And it was unbelievable. A trade, a mock, if you will, trade for Giannis to come to San Antonio. And the Spurs were giving up everybody, including just about every one of their picks. Do you remember the details of that, Pledge? Do you have it handy?
I do. I have it handy right here, actually, and I've got the Instagram poll results as well.
Okay.
Of where we currently sit.
Let's hear it.
The Spurs would get Giannis Antetokounmpo and Bobby Portis.
Okay.
The Spurs would be sending out, in return, Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Jeremy Sohan, Malachi Branham, the number 2 overall pick, their 2026 pick swap, the 2027 Atlanta first round pick, the 2028 Boston first round pick, a 28 pick swap, and a 29 pick swap.
Okay, so a lot.
It's a lot. But remember, Mikal Bridges went for 5 first round picks last offseason.
And you wouldn't expect Milwaukee to ask for anything less than that for a guy that's a future Hall of Famer, 2-time MVP, and a great player. And he's still got a lot left in the tank, a couple of years left on his contract. So I get it. But the results, to me, were about 70-30 against that, at least on Twitter.
75-25 on Instagram.
Against.
Everybody's
saying that they thought it was too high, too much to give away. And it is a lot. I'm telling you, it is a lot. Now, some of the reasoning I don't get, like Richie Rich on Twitter says the Spurs can be patient. Richie, I could not disagree with you more.
You don't skip steps, Joe.
I could not disagree with you more. They're not fine with a slower approach. And you know, I always want somebody to explain that to me. What is a slower approach? How many years does that take? It's been 7 years since the Spurs have been in the playoffs. I'm just curious. I'm not even talking about championships. It's been longer than that, obviously, but just the playoffs. 7 years, and I don't know how much more patient the Spurs should be. Should they be patient with what? With Devin Vassell, who still has going into his 5th year, who still has not become that consistent shooter that they wanted. Keldon Johnson may have had one of his best years as a Spur coming off the bench, so maybe you could say that. Jeremy Sohan, I'm still waiting. And what is he going into his 3rd year? 3rd or 4th?
3rd.
I'm still waiting, so I'm not sure, and I wish somebody would explain to me what being patient means, because I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Now, look, having a Giannis here for that cost, I'm coming around to I just don't know if that would be worth it. And I say that, obviously, it would get folks excited as hell here. There's no doubt about that. But it would come at a high cost, not only in draft capital and players, but then you've got to replace those players, and you got to have some capital, something to do to build around that, because you're still going to need some the holes that are going to have to be filled.
Same holes.
Well, it's true, except for perhaps a big man, which you could get away with Giannis. So that might solve that problem. But I just don't understand some Spurs fans. I don't, where, trust the process and Pop we trust, and all of that's fine. But, I mean, I don't know how much longer we need to be patient here. To me, I think everybody's been pretty damn patient and have waited, and we're in the lottery again, and we're this again, and we're not making the playoffs again. And it's just it's baffling. To me, we're in professional sports. It's not a high school program. I mean, this is a professional sports program that the object is to win, not to just, okay, well, we won 32 games this year. That's 10 better than last year. Yay! No, that's not the object. It's not. It's time to get a move on. So, look, if the Giannis deal is too expensive, fine. No problem. The Spurs are never going to be in a better position than they are today with draft capital, with stuff that they have to be able to trade and make some moves. So if you don't like the Giannis deal, let me give you another one, all right? And I thought this was pretty good. Now, if you all remember the talk, was it last offseason or the start of the season, the Lauri Markkanen.
I forget. I've been trying to manifest this for like 4 or 5 years now.
Exactly. So the Lauri Markkanen trade, there's a mock for that out as well. And let me ask you this. We'll lay this out, and maybe, Pledge, you can put this on the socials as well. Lauri Markkanen, big guy, good player, just got a contract extension, so you'd have him for the next 4 years under contract. Spurs would receive Lauri Markkanen and Utah's 5th overall pick in this year's draft. So you're not only getting Markkanen, but you're getting the number 5 pick in the draft, which there are still a lot of good players. In return, the Jazz would receive Keldon Johnson, Harrison Barnes, Blake Wesley, the Spurs' 2nd pick, and their 14th pick of this year's draft.
But you get 5.
You get 5 back. So you not only get Markkanen, but you get 5 back, and you're giving up Johnson, Harrison Barnes, and Blake Wesley, which means you're keeping Devin Vassell and Jeremy Sohan.
And you're keeping all your future assets.
And you're keeping your future assets, which you still have. Now, look, this is a mock. This is not coming from the Utah Jazz. So they may have something to say about this. But in this scenario, just like the other scenario for Giannis, would you make this deal? Would you make that deal? I'm curious if you would. You're more than welcome to call and let me know. 656-3776. 656-ESPN. If you're on our YouTube page, we appreciate everybody there. Be sure and subscribe to our YouTube page and hit the thumbs up button. And you can get me on Twitter as well, at Joe Reinagle 210. Let me know what you think.
And I want to point out, because a lot of people are saying that's too much for them, possibly in terms of the players you're sending back. You have to match salaries.
Yes.
And Lauri Markkanen's commanding about $40 to $45 million. You got to get to, I believe, within 85% of a player's salary to match in what you send in return. So there aren't many players on this roster outside of Keldon, Devin, and Harrison that can equate to that big of a salary that quickly. And it goes the same if you're hoping for Giannis Antetokounmpo too. Like, no matter who you're getting with a big salary, you have to match a good portion of that salary in return. And that's just part of it.
Yeah, it is. You're going to have to give up some players. You're not going to be able to get away with just draft picks. You're going to have to match the salary. So, and Markkanen, at this moment in time, he just signed a new deal with the Utah Jazz. He can be traded now. That is done. I mean, it's the period of time where he couldn't be traded is over. So he can be traded. 25-26, he's going to be making $46 million in change. He's going to be making the same amount in 26-27. So you know what you got to work with the first 2 years. His salary bumps in the third year to just about $50 million. And then the final year of that contract is $53 million. Now, keep in mind, not only that, the Spurs have a De'Aaron Fox they've got to sign this offseason, which I have every belief that they're going to do that. So he's due for a new contract. So you got to do that, and then you got to figure out what else you're going to do. If you're keeping Jeremy Sohan, he's going to be due for a new contract coming up pretty soon. So there are a lot of things to think about, but if you're looking for a big man, and everybody was in on Lauri Markkanen to begin with, or certainly was at the beginning of the season when he was apparently on the trade block that solves your big man problem, and the guy can shoot as well. So I think, obviously, you're not going to count. He doesn't solve that problem completely, but he can do a multiple amount of things. And so I just want to say, to me, if those two things happened, and again, spaghetti on the wall is a good description of it because I had somebody say that, David, on our YouTube page. I get it. It is, but we're playing GM here. But in that scenario, if you had the choice, Spurs fan, of the Giannis proposal we put out yesterday and this Lauri Markkanen mock proposal, which one would you take? Which one would you take? We got Mark Hernandez asking about Chris Paul. Chris Paul was a one-year deal. I don't believe they'll sign him back because I don't think Chris Paul wants to come off the bench. And at this point in time, anything other than that, I think is malpractice. When you got De'Aaron Fox and Steph Castle, they got to be in the starting lineup. So I'm not sure Chris Paul would come back as a player. Yeah, man, if he wants to take his uniform off and put on some street clothes and be an assistant coach, I'm all in for that. I just find this very fascinating that this Lauri Markkanen thing could be a possibility. And we're going to hear a lot of these mocks. And I only throw them out there for conversation because I think Spurs fans, and you guys please tell me if I'm wrong, I think a lot of you are like me, a lot of you are like Pledge, and I think I'll even throw Minix in this thing because I think he's ready too. I'm done with lotteries, man. I'm done with them. I don't want to be in the lottery next year. I'm tired of skipping steps or not skipping steps. I'm tired of being patient. I don't want to be in the lottery next year. I want to be talking about the Spurs playing somebody in the playoffs. Now, how far they go or what they do is another story, but to get to the playoffs and allow Victor Wembanyama to have that playoff experience and Steph Castle to have that playoff experience is going to be invaluable. And so I'm sick of the lottery. I want the Spurs to make some moves, and I want them to improve this team where we come out of the gates this season, and the Spurs are mentioned as a contender.
I would like to cordially welcome you aboard the Lauri Markkanen train to San Antonio. I did some quick calculations. Bobby Marks put together how much De'Aaron Fox's future contract that he would now have to get. It takes a bit of a dip. It was, I believe, 4,229 or 5,345, but because he's traded and signing with another team, he gets a 4-year, $219 million extension is what he's looking at, which, if you're wondering, $54.75 million a year.
Okay.
So that's how that affects the cap moving forward.
Well, and that doesn't necessarily surprise me. So you got to keep that in mind, too, when you're moving players, right? Not only do you have to squeeze a guy like Markkanen in, you got to think about De'Aaron Fox as well.
And at 5, you could still get a pretty good player to
might get a Trey Johnson, who Kendrick Perkins is talking about.
Sure.
Or you could take the advice of the Dukies and take their guy. What's his name? Knippel?
Con Knippel.
Con Knippel. He is. I don't know if any of you watch. I know most of you watch the Final Four. This dude can flat out shoot. This guy can flat out shoot. Well, Duke sends out it was a tweet or on one of the socials. And it was directed right at the Spurs. And it said, hey, San Antonio, with that number 2 pick, you ought to take Knippel. And I tell you what, I don't think at number 2 you take this guy. But at number 5, if that worked out, I might be taking this guy.
What about Kaman Malak?
Or him, too.
The 7'2" big man.
Another big man. Our good buddy Rob Thompson loves that guy. He was telling me about that guy when Duke was here and we were watching the game. He said,
like both of them.
He said, watch for this guy. He's going to be a hell of a player. Kind of a raw player, though. It might take him a minute to get involved. But the guy's 7'2", for goodness sake, and he's huge. So that wouldn't be too bad either. So a lot of possibilities. And thanks for bearing with us. But I want to know y'all's impression, too, and what you think of it. I see a lot of comments on our YouTube page talking about, if that was the deal for Lauri Markkanen, let's go. Let's make that deal happen.
And remember, too, with this deal that you're proposing, you save these future assets you have.
Absolutely.
If you want to go get a Cam Johnson or fill holes other ways through other trades, you haven't emptied your war chest.
Absolutely. So fun times, and it's great to be able to talk about this because, look, I wanted the Spurs to do something last year. They chose not to and save it for the magical year of 2025. And here we are in the magical year of 2025. Spurs are never going to be in a better position than they are right now. I just can't see it. With all the draft assets, draft capital that they have, they've got a little bit of money, depending on what they do and who they let go. It's just time. It's time to get this done. I'm done being patient. I don't want to be patient anymore. And I want to move. And I want Spurs in the playoffs next year. Make it happen, Brian Wright. It's all up to you, brother. That's right. Oh, my goodness. The Dookies giving the Spurs advice. How about that? Obviously, a couple of playoff games tonight to get into. Indiana, just quickly, Indiana ended Cleveland's season last night. New York, they're waiting for New York or Boston. I firmly believe that New York will wrap that thing up with no Jason Tatum, who is out for an extended period of time. So I fully believe that New York and Indiana are going to meet up. Don't count out Indiana. All right, they're playing good basketball right now. Do not count them out. Oklahoma City in a great basketball game last night. I hope you got to see that. I watched all of that game last night. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander did what superstars on teams are supposed to do. He put the Thunder on his back in the fourth quarter and just said, we're not losing this game. He did it. He played like a champ. And my goodness, the guy was fantastic. It was a great basketball game. I was happy because, well, Oklahoma City didn't win by more than 10. And so it was a good thing for me. And that's all I was really worried about. So Game 6 in Denver tomorrow. Look, I fully expect this series to go back to Oklahoma City for a Game 7. And then you've got, of course, Minnesota and Golden State. Minnesota can knock out the Warriors tonight. No Steph Curry, although the update is he has been cleared to practice. He's not going to play in this game, but he has been cleared to practice. And they're hoping to have him back for a Game 6, should there be a Game 6. So we'll have to wait and see. By the way, it just came down a few minutes ago. Draymond Green was fined $50,000 by the NBA for questioning the integrity of the officials. And what he was referring to in his comments, and I haven't heard these to be totally honest with you, but I saw the write-up on it. He was referring to the point spread, which was 5.5 points. Minnesota was favored by 5.5 points. They won that game by 7. So Draymond making some comments there about that, and the NBA says those nice little comments will cost you $50,000. So that's what happened to Draymond Green. We'll see if Golden State can stay alive and send this thing back. But they're in trouble. Again, no Steph Curry. That is the problem. Tanking. It's been a big topic of conversation around all over the place, right? And everybody's thinking that the NBA has it right. But there is another pro sports league that might have the answer. We'll tell you about that when we continue here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding 410 with The Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
A lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, you know the best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds. 210-225-2121 is the phone number. You can also text bail to 474747 or even start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Whether it's you, a family member, a friend of yours, your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7. Offices all over San Antonio and Texas. License number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121 or online, mybestbailbonds.com.
Get ready for Camping World's Red, White, and New Trade event, May 15th through the 18th. Get the highest value for your RV guaranteed during the biggest RV trade event of the year. Shop the best RV deals in America with new RVs starting as low as $92 a month. Get ready for the holiday weekend with up to 45% off grills and 25% off product installation. Plus, we'll have free hats, free propane refills, free food, and fun for the whole family. Don't miss the incredible Red, White, and New Trade event, May 15th through the 18th at your local Camping World.
See team for full details and disclaimer.
There are low prices, and then there are Kohl's lowest prices of the season. I got myself a comfy tee for just $4.99 and a stylish dress for 50% off. Then I found my husband a pair of shorts for under $17. Plus, I earned Kohl's cash. Yup, it doesn't get better than Kohl's lowest prices of the season. So go check them out before it's too late. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Offers end May 18th. See store at Kohls.com for details.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
The Lion and Rose at the Dominion, your daily happy hour spot from 3 till 7 p.m. 250 drafts, wine, wells, and bites from just $5. Big screens, bold flavors, and a patio made for post-game hangs. Lion and Rose at 23330 West I-10.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Progressive knows not all rides are smooth. Meet Peter. He loves his motorcycle. What he doesn't love is wind. Which is ironic, because wind is a big part of the whole wind-in-your-face motorcycle cliche. But nobody ever tells you how relentless a strong crosswind is, or the cliche wouldn't exist. Not every ride is smooth, but Progressive has your back. Get a quote to see if you can save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, not available in D.C.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Big day in the NFL. It is schedule release day. They'll do that tonight, but we've had some more leaks. The Chiefs are coming to Jerry World to take on the Cowboys on Thanksgiving Day. Then you got the Cowboys playing on Christmas Day on the road against the Washington Commanders. The Detroit Lions on the road at Minnesota. All of that on Christmas Day. But the schedule release, the full one tonight, you can catch it right here on 94.1 beginning at 7 o'clock.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Happy Hump Day, everybody. Hump Day.
Hump Day.
Yeah. Hope you're all having a great Hump Day. Great Wednesday here in San Antonio. But I just saw Halen, one of our engineers, and he said it's hot outside. That it's extremely hot outside. And if you're outside, I hope you're trying to stay cool or staying in the AC, whatever you're doing. But he says it's hot, and it's supposed to be hot, I guess, for the rest of the week or a big portion of it. We wouldn't know, Pledge and I. We're in a studio that has no windows. But thank goodness the AC is working, and it's working very well. And I hope it's working very well where you guys are as well. Thanks for spending a part of your Friday here with us on the Blitz. I'm Joe Reinagle. James Pledger is running this place. Jason Minix is off today. So much to talk about. It's such a good time in the sports world. Besides the NFL schedule release tonight, there's been a lot of talk about the draft lottery. And I know a lot of you yesterday commenting that this thing is rigged and all of this, and it's, it's not. It's really not. There's too much money involved, all of that kind of stuff. And it works for the most part, all right? It does. That whole tanking thing doesn't necessarily, unless you're the San Antonio Spurs, the tanking thing just doesn't work in the NBA. And it's a good system. Are there some flaws to it? Yes. There are definitely some flaws to it. There's no question about that. But it's a pretty good system. It's a system so good, in fact, that guys like Adam Schefter and Mike Greenberg say should come to the NFL.
I would like right now to pitch what I believe might be the highest rated show in the history of sports television. Here it is. A TV special where the NFL announces its draft order live. Imagine that. Or even better, you don't have to imagine it. The NBA just did it this week, and they've done it every year since 1985. Football needs a draft lottery. It would be great for the league. It would be great for the fans. Literally everyone would watch it. Imagine the 18 teams that missed the playoffs and all of the fans gathered around televisions, waiting for the ping pong balls to do their thing and the envelopes to be opened, and Arch Manning is playing the role of Cooper Flagg. The ratings would be ridiculous. But that's not the reason to do it. The thing about the lottery is it's a good idea. Tanking is a scourge. It is the worst thing in sports. Losing should never be incentivized. The NFL has always strived for parity. It's a great idea. It has served them well. But the trouble is, as their season has gotten longer, the bottom is starting to fall out of that a little. Last year, 10 teams won less than 30% of their games. That was the most ever. 6 of those teams won less than 25%. That's the most since 1926. Teams are throwing in the towel. That's exacerbated by the 17th game. Soon there's going to be an 18th, and I'm all for that. But this problem will only get worse. For example, this past year, the Browns fielded a roster so non-competitive in Week 18, they were 20.5-point underdogs to Baltimore, and the Ravens covered. The ping pong balls are the answer. Oh, and one final note on that. The lottery is not rigged. Come on, people.
It's not rigged. See, even Greeny says so, however you feel about that, and for whatever that's worth. Like, there's just too much money involved for that thing to be rigged. It just is. And so many people that would have to be in on it. I don't even want to talk about it again. If you think it's rigged, you think it's rigged. And we'll go from there. Just like there's scripts in the NFL and all of that kind of stuff. But that's all right. You guys, if you think that, you think that. I don't think it's rigged. So we'll move on. There's a solution, perhaps, at least for the NBA, when we do the Headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. 2 guys, 2 opinions, never enough time.
It is the Headline Blitz, and there was an article in Barstool today. It says, if pro sports leagues want to put an end to tanking, lacrosse has already figured out the solution. And I thought this was interesting. What they do, now look, you couldn't do this in football, but you could do it in basketball. I don't think there's any question you could do it in basketball. The Premier Lacrosse League has figured this out, they say. What they do, the teams who don't qualify for the actual playoffs play in a separate playoff, right? So the NBA, what is there, 12 teams that don't make the playoffs? You put them in a separate playoff. The kicker here is the team that wins the tournament gets the number one pick, not the team that finishes second, third, fourth, or fifth, whatever the case may be. If you win that playoff of the losers, then you get the number one pick. To me, that's genius, and I think in the NBA it would work fantastic. Now, I don't know if teams would want to play more games, and I'm not sure what a schedule or a playoff would look like in that scenario, but I thought it was a pretty good idea. Obviously, you couldn't do that in the NFL. There'd just be, they're already playing 17 games. They're going to play 18 here pretty soon, and it would just be a little too much. But in the NBA, it would make I think it would work out pretty well. You might have to do away with that little, that ridiculous in-season tournament that they have going on. That is kind of ridiculous, but it is what it is, and so we'll try to figure it out. But it's something to think about for all of you that think tanking and the NBA and the NFL are all rigged. There's a movie coming out about John Madden. Most of you know who John Madden is, right? Most of you might know him more as a broadcaster than a head coach. He was the head coach of the Oakland Raiders for a long time and just synonymous with that. In fact, won a Super Bowl with the Raiders as well.
You mean the football game guy?
The football game. And I guess they know him better for that, right? The Madden football game. Yeah, he was that guy too. But before he did all of that, he was a broadcaster. And then before he did that, he was actually an NFL head coach for the Oakland Raiders. Super Bowl winning coach. They're making a movie out of him. I think we've talked about this before, but I know on the radio you can't see this, and so I apologize, but just think about it. Nicolas Cage, is going to play John Madden. Christian Bale is going to play Al Davis. And so they showed pictures of these guys and how they're going to look in this movie. There's no release date just yet. They haven't announced a release date, but it is coming out, and I think it's going to be fascinating. And they say the movie's going to take place. It's going to start with his football career, his broadcasting, touch on that a little bit, but really get into how he got into the video game business and how he got his name put on the video game, the Madden football. So I think it's going to be pretty interesting, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. There's also a document. What?
They look incredible. You were talking about the picture you saw them. I think I saw that same picture. Wow.
Well, Cage needs to gain some weight. Right, he's too damn skinny.
But that looks like the coach and young Al, owner.
Christian Bale looks a lot like Al Davis. Yeah, he looks a lot like him.
But I thought Nick Cage looked a lot like young John Madden, like John Madden, who was the coach of the Raiders.
It's gonna be interesting, and I can't wait to see the movie. I really can't wait to see the movie. It's gonna be fascinating. 6-part documentary series is coming out this fall. About the Kansas City Chiefs last season. Now, it's just a look back at the season, but what's fascinating, and when you listen to the trailer, and we're going to play it for you coming up, they're calling it the football version of The Last Dance, if you saw that. It's the football version of this, but it talks about the Kansas City Chiefs and how they feel going into every season and what it means to them.
Every year, that's the only goal that you have is winning the Super Bowl. If we don't win it, it's a failure.
As much of a dreamer as Lamar was, I don't think he could have ever imagined this.
The odds are slim.
Let's repeat. Let's make history.
All this pressure builds up.
Cut the cameras, please.
It's our life, and it's an emotional game.
Love you, brother.
Right, dog. We know that.
Win or lose, this team will never be the same.
Interesting stuff. It looks good, and that's one that I'm going to watch. 6-part documentary series, and it's scheduled for a fall release. There was no date on it, but sometime this fall, I'm assuming to coincide with whatever the NFL season begins, or somewhere in that neighborhood. Going to be interesting. There's also a pretty big event happening, and I know some of you aren't golf fans, but I am, and it's the PGA Championships. It starts up tomorrow. A lot of storylines there. One of the biggest, though, is Jordan Spieth. He needs this to win the career Grand Slam. He's won the British Open, he's won the U.S. Open, and he's won the Masters. So he needs the PGA Championship to complete the career Grand Slams. One of the storylines. But one of the storylines that we all heard about when Rory McIlroy actually won the career Grand Slam at this year's Masters, how he didn't talk to Bryson DeChambeau the entire 18. They played in that final pairing together at the Masters, and it was well publicized that Rory didn't talk to DeChambeau.
Did you speak to him in there? How's he doing? Do you know?
No idea. Didn't talk to me once all day.
Did you try and initiate conversation with Rory at all?
He wouldn't talk to me.
Yeah, he wouldn't talk to me. And so Bryson was sound like he had his little live tour feelings hurt. Go put your shorts on and grab a beer. Well, Rory was asked about that today at Media Day and on why he didn't talk to poor Bryson.
I don't know what he was expecting. We're trying to win the Masters. I'm not going to try to be his best mate out there. Everyone approaches the game different ways. I was focused on myself and what I needed to do. And that's really all that it was. It wasn't anything against him or against it. Just I felt that's what I needed to do to try to get the best out of myself that day.
Be stealing my Lucky Charms. Why does that always pop in my head every time I hear Rory McIlroy? Stealing my Lucky Charms. Oh, man. But you agree, dude, we're at the final round of the Masters. What do you want to do? You want to play? You want to hold hands walking down the fairway? You want to talk about the weather? I mean, come on. They're fighting for their lives. And for Rory, it was a big deal, trying to complete the career Grand Slam. So, it's not exactly going to be buddy-buddy with anybody, much less a traitor like Bryson DeChambeau, for goodness sake. So that's interesting. By the way, if you're going to the PGA Championship, which I'm assuming none of you are, maybe you are, I don't know, beer prices apparently at the PGA Championship may force fans to watch golf sober. I can't imagine that. But I looked at the prices. In this same story, they showed a menu of the beer prices, and they also have cocktails and all of that stuff. I'll be honest with you. It's not any more expensive than it is at Jerry World, or if you go watch a Rangers baseball game or an Astros baseball game, it's the same price. I think a beer was like $16.50. Now, I don't know what size beer that was. That might make a difference. If it's a 24-ounce can, maybe that's that's okay. But it's not that much. So I'm not sure why they were making such a big deal out of that. But they were, and it's what folks do. Have a beer and watch the PGA Championship. Do yourself a favor, all right, this weekend. Watch some of that. It's good golf. It always makes me want to play like those guys, and I never can do it. We're going to take a break. When we come back, though, the fight over college football and the playoff future is getting messy amid SEC Big Ten power play. And according to the headline, no one likes it. We'll talk about that when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Morning Huddle.
I also like George Clooney in general. Probably the most handsome man I could think of.
I think he smells of cinnamon spice.
I was once asked by a...
not cologne, cinnamon and
leather.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
With Progressive Snapshot, you could save on auto insurance rates by driving safely, which is nice because you can just keep doing you. So keep on using that broken phone charger because it occasionally works. Keep quoting something you heard on a podcast as your own. Keep ignoring your sister's texts while you drive and after. And when baggage claim says, have a great trip, keep on saying, you too. And keep driving safely. And you could save with Snapshot from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. But not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through HIMS.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to HIMS.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Listen up, San Antonio. At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can get college credit for the stripes you've earned. Turn your military rank into college credit. To save service members and previously enlisted veterans may receive up to 12 credits for select undergraduate courses based on their rank, and up to 90 credits in total for prior learning, military experience, and training. Classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu/SATX.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
Gentlemen, testosterone levels can start dropping in your 30s, leading to low energy, reduced libido, and slower metabolism. Rock's Discount Vitamins is making it easy to take back control. No appointments and no prescriptions. Just head into a Rock's and walk out with a natural solution tailored to you. Our powerful line of natural testosterone boosters can help increase energy, build muscle, rev up your metabolism, and reignite your drive. You'll feel the difference and fast. Visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God in South Texas.
Hunger striking, snack time calling, it's crunch time. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds brings you the boldest protein-packed crunch you can't resist, with mouth-watering flavors like hot honey, sweet barbecue, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Why settle for chips when you can level up your snacking game? Plus, they're low-carb, high-protein, and made for adventurous appetites. Score big flavor today. Grab Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds at H-E-B.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
This is an announcement to all United States vehicle owners who own a 2003 or newer vehicle with a manufacturer's warranty about to expire, or no warranty coverage at all. With a struggling economy and the cost of living on the rise, Endurance is now offering an affordable, low-cost vehicle coverage plan to the general public. As of today, you could be one of millions of drivers that now may qualify to have your vehicle protected under this coverage and have all future covered auto repairs paid directly to the repair shop for you. You pick your plan. You pick your deductible. You even pick the repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental coverage is included. Get your vehicle protected now and save your wallet from costly vehicle repairs. A toll-free number has been established for you to call for your free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number to call is 800-247-1146. 800-247-1146. Again, that's 800-247-1146.
Did you know that 70% of divorces are filed by women? She's already thinking about it. I urge you, do not get caught off guard. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. Divorce is tough. It's emotional, challenging, and can upend everything you've worked hard for. But here's the truth. You have a choice. You can either let your spouse dictate the terms, or you can take control and protect your financial future. At Barton & Associates, this isn't just about getting through the process. It's about protecting what you've built, securing your assets, and ensuring you have the resources to move forward with confidence. You've worked hard for everything you have, and we're here to help safeguard it and avoid unnecessary losses. If you're serious about protecting yourself through the divorce process and securing your future, Barton & Associates is the team you need by your side. Call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
I'm A.J. Hoffman from the Morning Huddle. Join me and Rob Thompson tomorrow morning at 6. Your early morning wake-up call on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
We're back on this hump day. Hump day. This is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix has the day off, but James Pledger is here pushing all the buttons and making the music happen and all of that kind of stuff. And we're glad you're with us today as well. Lot to do, including we got lots of stuff to give away. I'm going to be giving away, not giving away, but we're going to qualify someone for the ACL Festival 2025, second weekend, October 10th through the 12th. We're going to be doing that. We're going to On Friday, we'll pick a winner out of the 5 qualifiers. Okay, so we'll pick a winner out of the 5 qualifiers, and you will win 2 wristbands to go to the ACL. If you qualify, however, you automatically get a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom, run right there at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. If you don't think you're lucky enough to win, you can always lock in your tickets now at aclfest.com. We're going to do the same thing that we did yesterday. We had a little keyword. Now, I'm going to be giving these things away in the qualifying somebody in the 5 o'clock hour. Okay, so you got to stick around. If you have to leave and go somewhere, make sure you're back in the 5 o'clock hour because that's when we'll do a qualifier. So the key word today is Pardee. Pardee, all right? You heard it here. I'll give you another reminder coming up in a little while. But just so you know, in the 5 o'clock hour, you have to tell Pledge that keyword. It's Pardee. All right, so you can say it however you want to, as long as you say Pardee, and then we'll qualify a third. I know the boys this morning qualified a third. They will continue to do that. They're going to give away 2 wristbands. We're going to give away 2 wristbands here on the Blitz. So you've got a couple of opportunities if you listen to both shows, and I know a lot of you do, and we certainly do appreciate all of that. I was going to talk a little bit about college football, but Pledge came across some sound that is interesting. So I just saw Sam on YouTube, and he said, make the word scrumptious. That would have been good. Just people calling you up and say, hey, Pledge, scrumptious. Would have made you feel all giggly and stuff. Scrumptious, Pledge. It's not that. It's part of it. I just saw that. But anyway, thanks for the suggestion there, Sam. We appreciate that. Now, see, y'all are writing it down on YouTube here, and I don't know. Is that? I guess that's fair, isn't it, Pledge? What do you think? I don't know.
Yeah, mental reminder.
All right, that's fine. 5 o'clock hour, you just don't know when in the 5 o'clock hour, so we will qualify too. We've been talking a lot about the draft and what we think the Spurs should do with that number 2 pick, throwing up some scenarios and all of that kind of stuff. Just a few minutes ago, there was one of the ESPN so-called draft experts named Jonathan Giovanni. Giovanni, okay. It should be Giovanni. It sounds better. But it's Giovanni. And he thinks the Spurs aren't going to do anything.
Dylan Harper is going to be the number 2 pick in the draft. I am 99.9% sure about it. He looked also really, really good, tested very well, shot it well. His body is in a great place. He's lost 15 pounds in the last years. He's also grown. He has measurements comparable to those of Dwayne Wade coming out of college. The San Antonio Spurs are signaling to teams that they are very excited about the opportunity to draft Dylan Harper. They are not pursuing trades from what we're hearing. They think that they can play Dylan Harper together with Steph Castle and De'Aaron Fox in the same backcourt. Obviously, teams have some question marks about the amount of shooting on that roster. That's something that they are probably going to address at a later stage. Dylan Harper is the second best prospect in this draft. He will go second, I believe.
Wow, so that's interesting. But look, and he probably has heard exactly what he just said he heard. But the Spurs could just be saying that too, right? We love this guy. You ought to see this guy. He's fantastic. We love him. But maybe the Spurs do that. Now, if they do that, here's your starting lineup as I see it, right? You go Harper, Fox, Castle, Wemby, obviously, and then what? Harrison Barnes, perhaps? So does that mean then, obviously Keldon Johnson came off the bench last year. He did a great job. Does that mean that Devin Vassell comes off the bench? Or does Vassell go in that starting lineup and you're kind of playing small ball? Interesting if that's the way that this thing works out. Or is Vassell part of a trade for a shooter at a later time? A lot to do, but I just found that interesting because I hadn't heard that. There's been all these trade scenarios and mock trades and all of that kind of stuff, but I have not heard of any of the Spurs saying they're going to keep this hit. Now, look, Harper's a great player, and I think he'll make a fine pro. Again, though, you get another rookie, another young fella, and you've got to have a little bit of time for him to gel. And so, is he good enough to get you to where you want to go, or are you Spurs fans happy with playing the waiting game, being patient with what the Spurs are going to do? Because look, if they use that number 2 pick and end up drafting Harper, you're going to have to be. Because I just don't see him coming in and being an automatic star. Steph Castle wasn't. Although Castle played pretty well early on, and then I think he was misused a time during the season until things worked out, and then he was back. So be interesting to see. But these are the things we're going to get to talk about for between now and June 25th, because that's when the NBA draft is going to happen. And so I can't wait for the scenarios to come out and for ESPN guys to hear this and that, and Shams reporting this and reporting that. But that's another scenario, I guess. I hope that's not the case. I truly do. And I hope that the Spurs are just throwing that fishing line out there just to be, just kind of fib a little bit. Saying, we love this guy. You got to check him out. He's the greatest. Oh, you want to trade that number 2 for this? Okay. We hate to give up on Harper, but, we'll take it. And you never know how front offices, Spurs and everybody else, kind of fudge the truth a little bit and play the game. So are they doing that or are they not? Only time will tell, but we're going to hear a lot. And I'm really, quite frankly, surprised we're hearing so much after just 2 days. It's been kind of crazy, but get ready for it because it's going to happen. What do you guys think about that? Do you think the Spurs should keep the number 2 pick and make a draft pick there? And it looks like if they do, Harper's going to be the guy. He's been talked about as 1A and 1B when it comes to Cooper Flagg and Harper. So, boy, I don't know. I hate to hear that, and I don't want to hear that, but I'm curious to hear what you guys have to think. 656-3776, 656-ESPN, on Twitter, at Joe Reinagle210, or you can certainly go to our YouTube page. Be sure and subscribe to the YouTube page and hit that thumbs up button, too, if you would there as well. We're going to talk a lot more Spurs basketball, but you can certainly chime in if you want to. It is the NFL schedule release day. And it's a big day for the NFL. They get to have another hour-long special primetime show to release their schedule. And I tell you what, if any other sport did this, would you watch? But it's the NFL, so you will. A lot of you will. You're going to watch the NFL schedule release show tonight. I'm going to be watching it. I know I will be. And not just for work. Even if I didn't work here, I'd be watching it. I want to see what teams play and the dates on these things, because depending on where they play, it makes a hell of a difference. Now, we already know the Cowboys and Chiefs play on Thanksgiving Day. That's going to be one hell of a Thanksgiving Day, isn't it? We'll discuss the NFL, the schedule release, the rumors, the leaks, and all of the such, plus good old number 4 talk today. He was on the radio there on the ticket in Dallas. We'll hear from Dak Prescott. That's coming up as we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle, we've got a full NFL schedule release to look at.
And are we waving goodbye to Golden State? Lots to talk about. Basketball on the forefront. Get here early. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Get ready for Camping World's Red, White, and New Trade event, May 15th through the 18th. Get the highest value for your RV guaranteed during the biggest RV trade event of the year. Shop the best RV deals in America with new RVs starting as low as $92 a month. Get ready for the holiday weekend with up to 45% off grills and 25% off product installation. Plus, we'll have free hats, free propane refills, free food, and fun for the whole family. Don't miss the incredible Red, White, and New Trade event, May 15th through the 18th at your local Camping World.
See dealer for full details and disclaimer.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JOEQ. That's JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN. Are you ready for the NFL season? The schedule release is coming, and we know the best place to get your tickets this year. My friends at Vivid Seats. They're seriously legit, and you earn rewards on every purchase. That's basically free football games. When that schedule hits, don't wait around. For the best selection and all the great deals, head to vividseats.com or download the app and lock in your game days now.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-917-4635, and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-917-4635. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-917-4635 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-917-4635.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation.
Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row.
Groundworks is the official foundation repair company of Texas Athletics. Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Progressive knows owning a home can be hard, but not always. Like when you're relaxing on your patio, enjoying a nice, quiet evening. So quiet. Except for the sound of the neighbor's party. Which you said you'd go to if you weren't busy. And your quiet night on the patio, that's not exactly busy, is it? Maybe you should just stay inside. At least Progressive's Home Quote Explorer lets you easily compare rates, so shopping for insurance is the easiest part of owning a home. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Welcome to Staples.
Hi, I hear Staples prints it all.
Oh, you bet. Posters, banners.
Can you print it all for Father's Day?
Oh, of course. Photo gifts like canvas prints, photo puzzles.
Can you print it all for graduation?
Sure can. Custom cards and invites.
Can you print a huge banner with the grad's picture?
Oh, definitely.
Even an embarrassing baby picture?
Oh, those are the best kind.
I know, right?
Print it all for dads and grads at Staples. And right now, get 40% off custom cards, invites, and photo gifts. N75 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is gearing up to send you to the Austin City Limits Music Festival. 9 stages, 2 weekends, and more big-time artists than at Texas Tailgates. October 3rd through the 5th, and again October 10th through the 12th in the live music capital of the world. We're talking Sabrina Carpenter, Hosier, Doja Cat, Luke Combs, The Strokes, John Summit, Doechii, Fate, and whole mess of other stars lighting up Zilker Park. Listen to the Morning Huddle and the Blitz this week for your chance to win a pair of 3 3-day wristbands to Weekend 2. We're picking one winner on each show this Friday, and every qualifier scores a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom at 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. Cold drinks, hot pizza, and ACL wristbands. That's a Texas-sized jackpot. Want to lock in your tickets now? Head to aclfest.com. All this week, it's ACL giveaways. Only on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
I just heard Big Voice Guy talking about the ACL Festival. We're going to qualify one of you for 2 wristbands, which from what I'm hearing, Pledge just tells me that the first weekend is sold out. And I saw on our YouTube page here, I don't know if it's Fred, says he read that 3 days ACL wristbands sold out today.
That's true.
So there you go. So
you can only get them here.
You can only get them here, apparently. You can get them from somebody. There's always a way. I know a guy. You know a guy. Minix knows a guy. You can find them, but that's okay. At the 5 o'clock hour, we're going to qualify somebody. There's a keyword involved, and I love the confusion on our YouTube page, especially from Alexandra, who is confused, but that's about right. She said, did Joe say Pardee or Party? So I guess you're going to have to figure that out, Alexandra. I don't know.
I mean, they all sound the same.
They
when you
kinda
call
sound the
in
same.
and tell me the keyword.
Well, you have to make, there's a difference. So am I saying Party or Pardee? There's a difference. So if they call in, Pledge, and you answer and they say the wrong word, then they lose. You got to be the tough guy, Pledge.
Is just for clarification on my part. Does today being Wednesday have anything to do with the way the keyword is pronounced?
It does.
Okay.
And in the 5 o'clock hour, we will we'll have an interview with the interim Brahmas head coach. It's not Wednesdays with Wade today. It is just Brahmas with Payton Pardee. So there you go. 5 o'clock hour. That's when we will qualify somebody to win. If you qualify, you're a winner. No matter if you get the wristbands or not, because you're going to get a $50 gift card to the Mellow Mushroom there in 1604 in Stone Oak. The pizza there is fantastic. Drink special. They might have the best happy hour in town. So it's incredible. So if you qualify and you don't win the wristbands, you're still going to get a $50 gift card to the Mellow Mushroom. So it is all worth it. All worth it. And there's a big day in the NFL today, but what day isn't? If it's a day that ends in Y, it's a big day. Before I do that, Pledge has got a whole – Pledge feels like Santa Claus today. I got all kinds of stuff. Besides the ACL Fest wristbands we're qualifying folks for, we've also got a 4-pack of Missions tickets next Tuesday night, which is San Antonio Sports Star night, by the way. So if you want to go see the Missions next Tuesday night, you're more than welcome to do so. All you have to do is be caller number 9 right now at 656-3776, 656-ESPN. Give us a call. There's not even any a keyword there. You just call. If you're the 9th caller, you're going to get a 4-pack of tickets to go see the Missions next Tuesday night. So good luck, everybody. NFL schedule release day. It's a big day, and we've already had some big news. The Kansas City Chiefs are coming to Dallas on Thanksgiving Day. That is going to be fantastic. It's the late window kickoff, which the Cowboys always are anyway, at 3:25. But it's going to be Patrick Mahomes' first game in Dallas as a pro. And I found that interesting because I didn't even think about it. I obviously, but his first game as a pro in Dallas, that will be interesting. And I tell you what, the ratings for that are going to be outrageous. And I guarantee you tickets for that game are going to sell out very quickly if they haven't already. So looking forward to that. That could set records. There's no telling what that might do. That's going to be interesting. Props to the NFL for scheduling that. By the way, the Cowboys are also going to play on Christmas Day. They're going to travel to Washington to battle the Commandskins on Christmas Day. That game will be on Netflix. It's going to be the noon game, by the way, on Netflix that day. It's a triple header, by the way. The next game at 3:30 is going to be Detroit at Minnesota. And then this one came out earlier in the week. The nightcap is going to be the Denver Broncos at the Kansas City Chiefs. So a pretty good Christmas Day lineup, all on Netflix. So if you don't have Netflix, you might want to get that before Christmas Day, or maybe you'll get that as a gift on Christmas Day. Who knows? But a lot of good games there on Christmas Day. And again, there may be some more leagues today. I'm not sure, but the schedule release, everything will be released tonight. And if you're not around a television set, you can certainly listen to it right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We will have it live and on your radio on 94.1. So all good stuff, and looking forward to that. And we'll certainly talk about all of it when we gather here tomorrow at 2 o'clock on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. The Cowboys are always a big draw. We know that. Their quarterback is Dak Prescott. And you know my feelings about Dak. He's one hell of a nice guy. Love the guy. I love you, Dak. He's always been very kind to me. He is he's a leader. He says all the right things. He wins press conferences. He just can't win in the playoffs, and that's a problem for me. But it is what it is, right? Dak was on the radio on the ticket in Dallas today, and he was talking about the George Pickens edition. And you might get the feeling that Dak Prescott is a very happy camper.
Yeah, we've connected, and I'm excited. I mean, you turn on the tape and you see a guy that can catch the football. You put the football anywhere in his vicinity, very strong hands, more than a 50-50 catcher. He thinks it's his ball when it's in the air, and I'm excited for him. I know that we need some help in that position. I know CD needs some help, and I think when you have a guy like that, and I heard George say it, it's hard to double-team two guys, and then when you've got other guys, whether it be Ferg, Jalen Tolbert, Mingo, guys who have had reps and know how to get open in the league, I think we're putting together a nice group of weapons.
Yeah, I think you're right, Dak. You really are. I mean, the weapons that they have, if Pickens is anything like he's been in Pittsburgh, that's going to be fantastic. CD Lamb continues to play the way that he has. And if they can get some kind of something from Jalen Tolbert, Jonathan Mingo, one of those two guys, if not both, then I think you're going to have a pretty good offense. And then, of course, he was talking about Jake Ferguson. Ferguson, I would say, had a subpar year, right? I mean, last year. It wasn't one of his best, but if he can come back into form. You know, Pledge, at least I don't call him Ferg. Ferg like Dak does. That's Ferg. He's out there. He's Ferg.
I mean, you stay away from anything that deviates from the way things should properly be done. You're not a liver. You're not a
Ferg
pants guy. Not a Ferg guy.
I'm telling you, that's the way that it's supposed to be. Because since I discovered this guy and all, Jake Ferguson, you're welcome, Cowboy fans. Yeah, I discovered this guy at training camp, and the story's well known and well told.
You discovered the guy they picked in the 4th round
exactly
2 months earlier.
Exactly. I discovered this guy. They didn't know how good he was until I told them.
Until you laid your peepers on him?
Exactly right. I sure hope that he has a better year than he had last year. He needs to because the Cowboys have a pretty good reputation, a pretty good history of tight ends. And he could certainly fall into that. Obviously, big shoes for Jake Ferguson to fill because I don't think Schoonmaker's the guy. Schoonmaker. I don't think he's the guy. So Ferguson's got to have a better year. But Dak Prescott's got to be a happy camper, not just the additions in weapons. I mean, think about this. The Cowboys, with their first-round pick, again went out and got a big old offensive lineman.
He's actually represented by a guy that represented me coming out early, Rick Robertson. So as soon as we drafted him, I'd gotten a call from him and the excitement and able to connect with Tyler. But I think you nailed it, a guy who loves football. And I think when y'all interviewed him or anybody interview him, you hear it through his answers and how much it means to him. I mean, just him wanting to take the love away from the love of football away from a guy throughout a game to his history and his journey to get here. I mean, a guy leaves high school to go down to IMG from North, that says a big commitment. So I think all of this and him being the Cowboys is just a testament to everything he's done in his life, and I know he's ready for it.
Yeah, and we had him on the air the day after the draft. Jason and I did. Tyler Booker, and I tell you, anytime you talk to this guy, he's just excited about playing the game of football. And he's got the best saying, and you guys have heard this, I'm sure, but if you haven't, He says his favorite thing to do is take the love of football away from his opponent. Whoever is lined up against him, he wants to take the love of football away from him by hitting him that hard. And so, look, I think they got a good one there. The question mark on the offensive line is going to be Terrence Steele. Can he have a better year than he had last year? And then, quite frankly, their other number one draft pick, Tyler Guyton, who did not have a good year last year. He got beat more than, I don't know. He belonged on the Texans' offensive line. He got beat so much. So it wasn't good. So he needs to have a better year.
He would have been an upgrade. Stop.
Well, I don't know, dude. I'm not sure. So Guyton's got to come into shape, right? I mean, so they still have some question marks, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Although I did see a report where Stephen Jones, and maybe it's just wishful thinking, that Trayvon Diggs could actually be ready to go by game 1. I find that kind of hard to believe with the seriousness of that injury, but okay, that's what he said. And so we'll wait and see how the Cowboys do. Running back situation, they're in pretty good shape, I think. I love Javonte Williams, and I liked what he did before he got injured. If he can round back into shape, I think they've got a pretty good 1-2 punch there with Williams and Jaden Blue, because Blue can do a lot of things. He can come out of the backfield, and he can catch passes that way, and he's fast. Guy's really fast. He's going to be a good change of pace that the Cowboys are going to be able to utilize, that whole thunder and lightning kind of thing that the Detroit Lions have done pretty well with. So if they can get that 1-2 punch going, I think Dak Prescott's got to be a very happy guy, and he's got no excuses. They went out and did good for him and got him some weapons, and now it's his turn to produce.
And not just that. Think about, because Mike McCarthy always talked about, complementary football. The offense gets out to leads, can run the football, sit on it. All of a sudden, think about the additions they made on that defensive line. Re-signing Osa Odigizua, you have Micah Parsons, who is arguably one of the, if not the best pass rusher in football. You brought back Dante Fowler. You drafted Donovan Izaraku in the second round. You have Marshawn Nealon, who's coming back, who you drafted in the second round last year. You've got Sam Williams coming back off injury, who was expected to have a breakout. Like, they can just send waves of pass rushers to where
those
they're
guys
never
can stay
tired.
healthy. Sam Williams hadn't been able to stay healthy.
Of course, if.
No,
But
I mean,
saying,
I'm just saying that. But already the small time in the league, they can't stay healthy. You got to stay healthy in this league. You got to be on the field. I don't care what kind of how everybody great they think you are. You got to stay on the field.
They signed Solomon Thomas, a former
did.
top 5 pick. They signed a former first-round defensive end, and Payton Turner.
Look at Pledge. He sounded a lot like Jason Minix today.
I'm just saying they're
going to win the Super Bowl. Is that what you're saying?
I'm just saying they added a lot of pieces.
They did.
That make them, if healthy, you can say that for 32 teams across the league. If healthy, that's a lot of
I'm just
firepower.
saying, guys like Sam Williams have not been able to stay healthy, and you wonder about guys like, because he's young. He's young. So, I mean, to be as injury prone as he's been and to miss as much time as he has, it's concerning. There's no question about that. It is concerning. So, guys got to stay healthy. And that includes, by the way, I will include number 4 in that. Dak Prescott has got to stay healthy.
I love you, Dak.
He's a problem with the health issue. Missed most of the season last year. So, and again, you're right. You say that about all the teams, and everybody with their key players have got to stay healthy. But guys like Sam Williams, DeMarvion Overshown, who showed a lot of promise last year. I don't know when Overshown's going to come back. Is he going to be ready for game 1? I'm not sure that he is. He had a pretty severe injury. So there's a lot of these guys that you got to worry about. That's for sure. That's all I'm saying. If they're back and they're healthy, you're right. And I'm really pleased with what the Cowboys have done. I think they went out and they finally did something, made some moves, and then we'll see how it plays out. But I'm watching old number 4, Pledge, because they went out and put some pieces around him, and now number 4 needs to throw it to his guys and not the other guys. And I want to see how he moves. because that another leg injury, and he was already kind of slow and not moving well, and then you got another leg injury. So we'll see how he does. So I don't know. A lot of question marks, and not to mention the fact that the NFC East is a lot better this year than it was last year. You got Philly and Washington playing in the NFC Championship game last year. I think both of those teams got better in the offseason. And I think the Giants are not going to be the pushover that they've been. They actually have a quarterback this year if Russell Wilson plays like Russell Wilson is capable of playing. And so we'll see. It's going to be interesting. By the way, the Baltimore Ravens will be they'll have their running back. They signed Derrick Henry today to an historic contract. And I say that it's a 2-year extension, $30 million. $25 million of that is guaranteed. It's the largest contract ever for a running back over the age of 30. So congratulations to Derrick Henry, who should have been a Cowboy, wanted to be a Cowboy, but he was too expensive for the Cowboys. So he's not a Cowboy, and that's where we stand right now. Derrick, I'm happy for that guy. He certainly earned it, man. He earned it. I love it when old guys earn it. It's fun. Hey, we're going to take a break, but when we come back, I want to tell you about something I heard today at the gym. And this is not a wise guy story. It's not a knucklehead story. It's a factual story, and I want to know how you feel about it. We've got some tickets to give away, though. I told you, Pledge, feeling like Santa Claus today. I think it's Leonid and Friends. And now, what the hell is that, Pledge? Do you know? All right, Leonid. Does anybody know what Leonid and Friends are? If you do and you want to win tickets, all you have to do is be caller number 656-3776, 656-ESPN. Good luck, Leonid and Friends. We'll continue here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding home with The Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Injuries happen, and when they do, you can skip the ER and get straight to an Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday. They have on-site x-ray, casting, and bracing. In fact, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, but no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Looking for a place with character, cold drinks, and real Texas charm? Pull up a chair at the Lion and Rose in the Dominion. This local favorite, run by the Tharp family, serves up Southern hospitality, military pride, and seriously good food. Happy hour daily from 3 till 7 p.m. with $2.50 drafts, select wine, wells, and mimosas. Plus, tasty bites from just $5. Big screens, bold flavors, and a patio made for post-game hangs. Now open at 23330 West I-10. The Lion and Rose.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-499-9102. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-499-9102. That's 800-499-9102. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Calling all snack MVPs, it's time to huddle up with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, the low-carb, high-protein snack with a flavor-packed crunch. From sea salt and cracked black pepper to hot honey, sweet barbecue, and more, these bold bites are ready to tackle your crunch time cravings. Find your flavor playbook at H-E-B and make every bite count. Because when it's crunch time, there's only one snack you need on your team. Southern Recipe Small Batch.
An accident can leave you struggling to pay for medical bills.
At Thomas J. Henry, we believe you deserve justice no matter your financial situation. That's why you don't pay us unless we win your case. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
It is playoff basketball time. While they're scoring buckets, you could be scoring cash on Underdog, one of the leading sports apps out there, the best place to go make all your sports picks. Their app has over 100,000 five-star reviews, and I love playing the pick'em game at Underdog, where you just have to choose higher or lower on predicted stats. Download the Underdog app, sign up with my promo code STAR to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Again, use promo code STAR at Underdog. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
Hey guys, are you or your spouse looking to lose weight in time for summer? Head over to any Synergenics or Low T Center for prescription weight loss treatment options. If you qualify for treatment, you can get a free B12 shot when you start. Offer limited. Book now at fixmylowt.com.
Progressive knows owning a home can be hard, but not always. Like when you're relaxing on your patio, enjoying a nice, quiet evening. So quiet. Except for the sound of the neighbor's party. Which you said you'd go to if you weren't busy. And your quiet night on the patio, that's not exactly busy, is it? Maybe you should just stay inside. At least Progressive's Home Quote Explorer lets you easily compare rates, so shopping for insurance is the easiest part of owning a home. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
It is the NFL schedule release day. We've had some more leaks, though, a lot of them. The biggest one, though, is the Chiefs coming to Jerry World to face off against the Cowboys on Thanksgiving Day. Cowboys are going to play on Christmas Day as well. They'll hit the road, and they'll take on the Washington Commanders. All of this on Netflix. And we find out tonight, though. You can catch it all right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It begins at 7 o'clock.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hump Day! Hump Day! Yeah. Happy Hump Day, everybody. Hope you're having a great day out there. Staying cool. I hear it is very hot outside in San Antonio and South Texas or Central Texas, wherever you happen to be listening. We appreciate it on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're listening on YouTube and watching on YouTube, thank you for doing that. Be sure and like and subscribe to our YouTube page. We would appreciate that. Or any of the apps that you can listen on. However you're doing it, thank you. We do appreciate you guys tuning in and listening to us here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You can also reach out to me on Twitter at Joe Reinagle 210 if you've got something to say there. And if you want to do it the old-fashioned way, you got something to say, you want to make your voice heard, you can give us a call at 656-3776, 656-ESPN. Interesting story that I heard today at the gym. You know, the gym is a great place to go, and you talk to people, and you never know who you're going to meet. You never know what kind of stories you're going to hear. And I love talking to my buddy Ray. Ray and I always get into these nice debates about various topics in sports. But this was a serious discussion. I can't even remember how we got into it, but it's a guy named Paul that works out at the gym. Don't work out with the guy, but he's always there. We say hello. And we got to talking about Greg Popovich and his retirement, and that led into the mayoral race going on in San Antonio and the runoff that's taking place on June the 7th. A couple of people going into that. Who is it? Gina Ortiz-Jones and Rolando Pablos are running off on June 7th. And his this guy's a developer, so he kind of knows the ins and outs of what's going on downtown. Talks to some politicians and all of that kind of stuff. So he's in with the city business. And truth be told, look, I'm not. When it comes to that, I can't even vote in this runoff. Couldn't vote in the San Antonio mayor's race, and I would have, because I'm kind of a political geek as much as I can be, and I would have. But I live in one of the cities that is in San Antonio, but not considered San Antonio, if that makes sense. So I can't vote in the San Antonio election. But you can if you live in the city of San Antonio. And his comment to me was, and this is a quote, if Gina Ortiz-Jones wins, the Spurs are gone. Now, that's a direct quote, and I'm not sure what that means or what he was saying there. It's just kind of a scary thing. But what he means by that, there was a forum last night, he was telling me, where both of these candidates were, and they were talking about it, and she is not in favor of the city doing anything to build, at least this is what he told me, build a Spurs arena. Now, I'm going to take his word for it. He's a nice guy, and I know him, and I wouldn't imagine he wouldn't be truthful to me. So what I'm trying to do is get Gina Ortiz-Jones and Rolando Pablos on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. And I think you guys might appreciate that, but I want to hear it from them, how they feel about a Spurs arena, if they're for it, if they're against it, and why. And it's a very simple question. But I want to hear it from them. I really do, and why or why not, and have a discussion with them. So we're working on that. And I went to the very best in the building. And this is no shot at Pledge because he's a hell of a producer. But Elaine Rodriguez is the producer for the Trey Ware Show on our sister station KTSA, and she is the best. She's been doing it for a long time. Give me a bad look for her, Pledge. I think I triggered Pledge. Sorry. He's upset. He may not be back for the rest of the show. But Elaine Rodriguez is great. She does this for Trey Ware, and she's been doing it for a long time. And she's in the political circles is why I went to her, because Pledge is not. And so we're trying to arrange that. We're trying to arrange that to get one or both of them on the air. I'd like to have them both. Doesn't have to be at the same time, but at different points in time to get them on and just get their thoughts on how they feel about the Spurs arena moving forward. And we also got to talking at the gym this morning after that about a PR campaign. And I'm really kind of, I don't know. I don't know about being upset, but I think the Spurs need to get out and tell people and educate people about this. Because when Peter Holt talked the other day, he was talking about what my friend at the gym said, the hot tax, which is a hotel occupancy tax, right? Which there's a tax to somebody that comes to San Antonio to visit, and they pay an extra tax. Look, you go to any city in this country, and there's some kind of tax like that floating around. It is, and that's just the way that it is. So he said, Peter Holt said that for the arena portion of this, the citizens of San Antonio wouldn't have to pay anything because it would come from that, unless you stay in a hotel, which some of us do from time to time. You want to go downtown for a weekend or whatever, you might stay in a hotel and hang out downtown and party a little bit. I don't do that often, but every now and then I'll do it. I think it's fun to go downtown and remember all the good stuff that we have. However, having said that, most citizens would not have to pay a dime for the new Spurs arena. Peter Holt said that. So that was good news. I heard that. But then all of a sudden, there was an article in the Express News, and there was that really bad word called property taxes. And I freaked out. And I told Minix, I said, man, that's a killer. People hear property tax, all of a sudden, they're not listening anymore. They're just not. Because they don't want the property taxes in Texas are high as hell as it is. If you live in a house, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And the rent you're paying, if you live in an apartment, well, it includes that too. So it's just the property tax is just a bad word. It's a bad word. Well, my friend this morning was educating me because the property taxes were going to be on what they call reinvestment zones. And what that is basically is if you have a piece of property anywhere, downtown or in an investment zone, that piece of property that you own, you're already paying property taxes to the city, right? So you're already doing that right now. If you build on that, well, your property's more valuable, so the property tax is going to go up. So the way it was explained to me was the city will continue to get the property tax that they're getting now, but anything more will go towards Project Marvel. And that's what they're talking about with the property taxes and the reinvestment zones. So, look, I sat there in a 10-minute conversation with this guy, and I understand it better than I did before I talked to him. Didn't take long, and I understand it, and I feel better about it. So while it is property taxes, it's not to your house, okay? It's not to your house. So, again, citizens would not have to pay anything for any of it, the entire Project Marvel, according to this. So it's hard for me to understand an argument against it. And I tell you why. Obviously, I'm a sports talk show host, so I'm for the Spurs getting their arena and getting Project Marvel because I want the Spurs to stay here forever. But I say that because being in the business as long as I've been and spending 25 years in TV and having the good fortune of following the Spurs on all 5 of their championship runs, it was just fantastic. But what I saw was, and what I was always told, when you see the Spurs playing in the playoffs or in the finals, and every time they're here in San Antonio, guess what? They start with a camera shot down the Riverwalk, a camera shot of the Alamo, camera shots of San Antonio all over the place. You try to buy that kind of publicity on national television in prime time, it's going to cost you a fortune. You can't buy that kind of publicity that the Spurs give us, not to mention the fact, whether you like it or not, and we're a tourist town, the Alamo it identifies as San Antonio. The Riverwalk identifies as San Antonio. The Spurs identify as San Antonio. It is that front porch thing that we're always talking about, that it identifies this city, and it's a part of the city, whether you like it or not. It is. And the San Antonio Spurs are a huge part of this city. And so to have them even threaten to leave is going to scare the hell out of people. And they're not doing that. That's me talking right now. The Spurs are not doing that. And they have said that they are not going anywhere. And I have no reason to doubt that. But I'm just saying, without a new building, who knows, right? Who knows? You just never know. And again, that's me saying this, not the Spurs saying it. So I would like to get both of those candidates for mayor. Neither one of them got 50% in the general election. That's why they're having a runoff. They were the 2 highest. And if I'm not mistaken, it was Gina Ortiz-Jones who was the highest vote getter in the general election. Rolando Pablos, I don't know a lot about either one of them. I've heard Gina Ortiz-Jones because I think she ran for a political office around here before and lost. And so, but I've heard her name. I've never heard of Rolando Pablos. But my friend says Ortiz-Jones is not in favor of a new Spurs arena that is publicly financed with a hot tax or the reinvestment zone taxes or whatever the case may be. So again, we're going to invite them on, and I hope both of them take us up on it, just so you guys can hear. And if you have questions for them, you can ask those questions as well. And I just thought, when it comes, we're going to stay out of politics here on the Blitz. We do that, and we've always said that. But when it comes to things that involve politicians, like legalized sports gambling, and like this Spurs arena and Project Marvel, I think we owe it to you guys and gals to get these folks on so they can tell you in their own words. I don't want to put words in their mouth, and I don't want to, just go by hearsay. I want them to tell you why or why not they're for something or against it. So there you go. That's my little rant on that. Just so you know, so we're trying to get these folks on, and we want to get them on, and we'll see if we're successful. And I'll keep you updated as we go through the week, whether that happens this week or next week, just as long as it happens sometime before June 7th, which is the runoff election. So there you go. I'm interested in that, and I hope you guys are as well, and gals, because it's important, I think. Obviously, if I didn't think it was important, I wouldn't bother. But I think it's important. And for the future of this city and for the future of sports franchises in this city, whether it's just one or whether we have something else down the road at some point in time. So there you go. That's what we're going to do. Now, before we go to a break, I want to ask you guys a question. What do you a lot of you thought the NBA lottery was fixed. It was rigged. I've heard a lot of you during the NFL season say there's a script. The NFL has a script, and they script everything, and there's not there's no drama. If they want a team to win, they're going to have a team to win. Everybody wanted Dallas to win the lottery, or the NBA did, because, well, they traded Luka away to L.A. to give the Lakers a face because LeBron's on the last part of his journey, and they needed a new face for the L.A. Lakers. So they rewarded the Dallas Mavericks. That's the conspiracy theory with the number 1 pick, and now they're going to get Cooper Flagg. Again, you know how I feel about that. If you guys think it's rigged, you think it's rigged, and there's really nothing I can say. It's not, but if you think it is, then you go with it. Mike Greenberg, Greeny, used to be on this radio station, has a solution, he thinks, to the NFL tanking problem. Because tanking in the NFL happens, and it's happening more and more and more as we get more games. We're at 17, it's going to go to 18, and, the teams tank because they want to get better, and they figure they get the number 1 draft pick, then they're going to get better. And keep in mind, the Arch Manning sweepstakes will be coming, whether that's next year's draft or 2 years from now. How does Mike Greenberg suppose that we fix this thing in the NFL? We'll hear from him as we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is gearing up to send you to the Austin City Limits Music Festival. 9 stages, 2 weekends, and more big-time artists than at Texas Tailgates. October 3rd through the 5th, and again October 10th through the 12th in the live music capital of the world. We're talking Sabrina Carpenter, Hosier, Doja Cat, Luke Combs, The Strokes, John Summit, Doechii, Faith, and whole mess of other stars lighting up Zilker Park. Listen to the Morning Huddle and the Blitz this week for your chance to win a pair of 3-day wristbands to Weekend 2. We're picking one winner on each show this Friday, and every qualifier scores a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom at 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. Cold drinks, hot pizza, and ACL wristbands. That's a Texas-sized jackpot. Want to lock in your tickets now? Head to aclfest.com. All this week, it's ACL giveaways. Only on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
If you're having any issues at your house with your plumbing, your AC, you know there is one company to call, and that is Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC at 210-651-5899. At Quartermoon, they are full service. Big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. No commission. Sales reps, they'll provide estimates and second opinions. And right now, you want to make sure your AC is tuned up and ready to go for the hot summer months. Hit the jackpot with comfort with their Lucky 7's AC tune-up for just $77. It's a 7-point AC inspection that includes a check of your capacitor, indoor coil, and outdoor coil inspection. They will change your air filter, air supply temperature check, clear of the condensate draining line, and refrigerant level inspection. Get that on the schedule and make sure you're ready to go before the hot summer months are here. Call Quartermoon at 210-651-5899, 651-5899, or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
Hey, San Antonio, multiple tours overseas, years of protecting the country, it all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training toward our low-cost degree and certificate programs. We call that credit where credit is due. For over 75 years, our dedicated success coaches have been helping service members achieve their goals. Get started with local support and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
Gentlemen, testosterone levels can start dropping in your 30s, leading to low energy, reduced libido, and slower metabolism. Rock's Discount Vitamins is making it easy to take back control. No appointments and no prescriptions. Just head into a Rock's and walk out with a natural solution tailored to you. Our powerful line of natural testosterone boosters can help increase energy, build muscle, rev up your metabolism, and reignite your drive. You'll feel the difference and fast. Visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God in South Texas.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
With Progressive, renters can save on protection for the things that make your place yours, even things that don't make sense to everyone.
People always wonder why I don't get rid of my guitar since I never play. But it's like, what if I actually end up taking lessons? Sure, I've had it for 8 years, but if I get rid of it, then what will my New Year's resolution be next January?
Exactly. So bundle your renters and auto and save with Progressive and protect the things that make sense to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to policy terms and conditions.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay, things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Made in America, highest quality. That's Connecticut Quality Water Softeners. There's a reason Dave Ramsey says a Connecticut is a wise investment for your home.
Trust me, Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison. Connecticut uses less water and runs on kinetic energy.
So there's no computer to break, fewer moving parts, and it works only when you need it.
It was even voted most efficient water softener in the world by the Water Quality Association.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. $400 off with trade-in and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country. 210-656-PURE.
Check them out at ConnecticutSA.com and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
License number 38961.
ConnecticutSA.com. It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Let's get wild.
This is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. Jason Minix has the day off. James Pledger is red-faced. He's been having a debate with somebody this entire break. Who the hell are you talking to?
A caller, he was talking about hearsay, and I was like, it's not hearsay. What he said was someone in the gym told him, whatever mayoral candidate, I don't even remember names at this point anymore, associating that person with the Spurs leaving San Antonio is bad for her. I said that's not what happened.
That's not what I said.
It was a conversation he had in a gym. He prefaced that, and that sparred us in the conversation to go down the hall to our political affiliate and try and get these candidates on the station to talk about Project Marvel. Yes, but because that was said, people will now associate it with that. I can't help that people are stupid. If that's the way that they think and rationalize without doing their own research, we're telling a story about how it's no different than if a caller called in and said that, or if somebody tweeted us and we read that tweet. It's the same effect He's just telling a story about a guy he had a conversation with in the gym, which led you to want to bring these political candidates on during this runoff to talk about Project Marvel and what it means to them.
Well, that's exactly what it is. And I wish you would have talked to me. And I know you were having a debate with this guy. But, look, I'm just telling a story and relaying a story I heard. That's why I said it. And I also prefaced that by saying, whoever you were talking to Pledge, that's why I want to have these candidates on so they can tell us in their own words how they feel. One way or the other. And I'm getting on YouTube all over the place where a bunch of, I guess they've done some stuff. According to Alexandra, they're coming on KSAT at some point in time. They were both on KINS. And then Fred Villarreal says I saw the first debate at SAC on YouTube last week. So it's out there. Fred goes on to say she wants no part of it. That's not hearsay. That is Fred watching her say that out of her own mouth. And that's all I want. That's all I want. I want them to come in here, or they don't have to come in here, but I want them to be on our air and tell us how they feel. And I think it's important. We've got a good audience, y'all. I mean, we do. This radio station, this show has a great audience. There are a lot of people listen to this show, and we thank you for that. And we're fortunate that that's the case. But we are a sports station. The Spurs are a sports team, and what their future is means a lot to the listeners of this radio station, not to mention the hosts and the producers. So I would like for them to come on the show and tell us how they feel. Whether they're for or against, that's how they feel, then just tell us that. That's all I want. So whoever that was you were talking to, yes, you can say it was hearsay, but I preface that by saying this is what I was told, and that's why I want them to come on the air. So, and yes, we can't help if people sit up here and listen to me and, well, Joe didn't say. He said he heard a conversation, and then he wants them to come on and tell us the truth. So I don't have time for people like that anyway. I mean, honestly, right? I mean,
that's what I'm here for. I'm protecting you from that.
I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. By the way, Pledge is feeling like Santa Claus today, and I love the fact, again, in the 5 o'clock hour, we're going to qualify someone to win a pair of wristbands to the ACL Festival. Now, keep in mind, whoever that caller was, I didn't say you're going to win a pair of wristbands. I said you're going to qualify for a pair of wristbands. And so
comprehensive listening is
yes,
hard, Joe.
That's exactly right. So we're going to do that in the 5 o'clock hour, and this is the last time I'm going to say this. When I say it's time, there is a keyword that you have to tell Pledge, and it is party. All right? Now, did I say that too fast for everybody? Party. There you go. So you have to tell Pledge this. The last time I'm going to say it, so if you didn't hear it, you're just out of luck. But during the 5 o'clock hour, at some point in time, I'm going to say it's time to call now to qualify for ACL. Not now, in the 5 o'clock hour. So don't call now. But right now you can call if you'd like to go see Mudvayne at Techport. If you want to see Mudvayne at Techport, be caller number 11. Right now it's 656-3776, 656-ESPN. If you want to go see Mudvayne at Techport. Are they a good band, Pledge? That's them right here. Caller number 11, you're going to win some tickets to go see Mudvayne at Techport. And I know it says it right here, and I'll tell you, it's the LD 50 25th anniversary with Static X and Vended. It's going to be live.
Static X is coming with them?
They are, according to this sheet I've got here. I don't know who the hell that is. Also, Vended. Do you know who Vended is? All right, well, there you go. It's all live October the 12th at the Boeing Center at Techport. And you can call right now, and folks are 656-3776. What I say, caller 11. 11. Caller number 11 will win those tickets. I know a lot of you, too, have been telling me that the NBA lottery, the draft lottery, is rigged. That the NBA has, well, you know, they're rewarding the Dallas Mavericks for giving up the face of their franchise to become the new face of the LA Lakers franchise. So they rewarded them with the number one pick and Cooper Flagg, which the Mavericks have already come out and said they are not trading that pick. They will draft Cooper Flagg, and I'm happy for Dallas Mavericks fans. And I honestly say that because they got royally screwed by Nico Harrison to giving away a 25-year-old superstar. So they're going to get another one, and maybe he develops into what Luka Doncic is, or maybe he does not. I don't know, but we'll find out. I don't think it's rigged. All right, I've come out and said if you think it's rigged, then that's your deal, and you think it's rigged. There's just too much money involved for this thing to be rigged. But Mike Greenberg, who used to be on this radio station, who does Get Up on ESPN, he thinks the NBA draft lottery is fantastic, and he thinks that it helps with the whole tanking problem. Because when you look at this, the Mavericks had the least amount of percentage to win this thing, but yet they did. And you see the teams that needed it, like Utah and Washington, down kind of middle of the top 10. Anyway, so it didn't help them. If they were tanking, it didn't help them all. And Mike Greenberg thinks that the NBA draft lottery ought to be the same formula the NFL uses.
I would like right now to pitch what I believe might be the highest rated show in the history of sports television. Here it is. A TV special where the NFL announces its draft order live. Imagine that. Or even better, you don't have to imagine it. The NBA just did it this week, and they've done it every year since 1985. Football needs a draft lottery. It would be great for the league. It would be great for the fans. Literally everyone would watch it. Imagine the 18 teams that missed the playoffs and all of the fans gathered around televisions waiting for the ping pong balls to do their thing and the envelopes to be opened, and Arch Manning is playing the role of Cooper Flagg. The ratings would be ridiculous. But that's not the reason to do it. The thing about the lottery is it's a good idea. Tanking is a scourge. It is the worst thing in sports. Losing should never be incentivized. The NFL has always strived for parity. It's a great idea. It has served them well. But the trouble is, as their season has gotten longer, the bottom is starting to fall out of that a little. Last year, 10 teams won less than 30% of their games. That was the most ever. 6 of those teams won less than 25%. That's the most since 1926. Teams are throwing in the towel. That's exacerbated by the 17th game. Soon there's going to be an 18th, and I'm all for that. But this problem will only get worse. For example, this past year, the Browns fielded a roster so non-competitive in Week 18, they were 20.5-point underdogs to Baltimore, and the Ravens covered. The ping pong balls are the answer. Oh, and one final note on that. The lottery is not rigged. Come on, people.
Thanks, Greeny. I know that. You know that. A lot of people don't know that, so we'll let them do what they do, but that's okay. So what do you think? Should the NFL go to the NBA draft lottery style? I kind of think it would be a good idea, and it would be fun. That's for sure. Can you imagine the 18 teams on TV? This would be a spectacle. Look, the NBA draft lottery is a spectacle on TV. Can you imagine the NFL doing the same thing? I think it's a great idea. I really do. I think it's a great idea. It would be a lot of fun, and we'd look forward to that. We'd have a party out at the Rue Pub, and the Cowboys would have been in it this year. They would have been in the lottery. Yeah. So see, it would have been fantastic.
Can you imagine too if the Cowboys were a part of it? With the Shador, Travis Hunter, Dion, dynamic all playing in.
It would have been a lot of fun, right? So they would have been in it this year, which would have made it that much more fun. I think it's a great idea. I really do. And I don't know if they'll do it, but tanking's going to get worse. You heard Greeny say it, and I agree with him. The tanking's going to get worse in the NFL. The more games that they add to the schedule, and it's at 17 now, it's going to go to 18. You know it is. That's going to happen. So I don't know, man. I think it's a great idea, and it'd be a lot of fun. Man, my goodness, it would be a lot of fun. That would be almost Super Bowl-like in a lot of ways, especially if your team's involved. Like this year's NBA draft lottery. I hope we're never in another one. The Spurs.
The lottery is not rigged. Come on, people.
It's not. So, look, if your team's involved in it, you're going to be glued, and it's going to be a party for sure. Interesting stuff. By the way, we are going to have Payton Pardee with the interim coach of the San Antonio Brahmas. He's coming on at 5:15 today. Normally it's at 4:30, but they had to push it back a little bit. So he'll join us at 5:15, and that's we're going to give away tickets or qualifiers to the ACL Fest during the 5 o'clock hour. I'm not sure. We also have some Brahmas tickets to give away as well during that hour, and we'll probably do that right after the interview with Coach Pardee. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. If you have to go somewhere, well, I'm sorry. You shouldn't. You should listen to the show for 4 hours straight every Monday through Friday. But if you have to go away, I understand. Just make sure you're back in the 5 o'clock hour so you'll have a chance to get qualified for the ACL wristbands. Not only that, if you do qualify, you're going to walk away with a $50 gift certificate, or gift card, I should say, to Mellow Mushroom, the one there at 1604 and Stone Oak. So you're a winner either way. That is for sure. All right, before we go away, Gary is calling in at 656-3776, 656-ESPN. Gary, what's going on and what's on your mind, my friend?
Well, I was going to say, in the words of a great 7-foot, 280-pound center that played for the Philadelphia 76ers, trust in the process. Don't a lot of teams tank to get into the lottery? Don't you think so? Well, I think it's a great idea, though. Yeah, I think it's a great idea to go to it.
Yeah, they do, Gary, but the problem with that is they shouldn't be rewarded.
You don't know if you're going to win.
Well, they shouldn't be rewarded.
I agree.
Because, that's not what sports is about. You are supposed to win. You're not supposed to lose.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I hate that tanking. I think it's terrible.
I do, too. I'm with you, Gary. Thanks for the call, my friend. Appreciate you listening as well. Anybody else want to chime in on that or anything else, and especially this, because we're going to play NBA GM when we come back, and a couple of mock deals are out there, and you guys are responding. I'm going to tell you what, Pledge put out the one that we were talking about yesterday about Giannis, and that Pledge thought was too much. And I'm going to tell you what, I think most people on the socials, whether it's on Twitter or Instagram, are about the same way, that it's too much to give away. But then again, Spurs fans, I know you get attached to some of these folks, and you don't want to do that. But we'll talk about the Giannis deal, but there's also another one out there that might be a little more tasteful to your palate, if you know what I mean. We'll talk Spurs basketball and NBA playoffs when we come back. We're here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle, we've got a full NFL schedule release to look at.
And are we waving goodbye to Golden State? Lots to talk about. Basketball on the forefront. Get here early. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Progressive knows not all rides are smooth. Meet Peter. He loves his motorcycle. What he doesn't love is wind. Which is ironic, because wind is a big part of the whole wind-in-your-face motorcycle cliche. But nobody ever tells you how relentless a strong crosswind is, or the cliche wouldn't exist. Not every ride is smooth, but Progressive has your back. Get a quote to see if you can save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, not available in D.C.
Did you know that 70% of divorces are filed by women? She's already thinking about it. I urge you, do not get caught off guard. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. Divorce is tough. It's emotional, challenging, and can upend everything you've worked hard for. But here's the truth. You have a choice. You can either let your spouse dictate the terms, or you can take control and protect your financial future. At Barton & Associates, this isn't just about getting through the process. It's about protecting what you've built, securing your assets, and ensuring you have the resources to move forward with confidence. You've worked hard for everything you have, and we're here to help safeguard it and avoid unnecessary losses. If you're serious about protecting yourself through the divorce process and securing your future, Barton & Associates is the team you need by your side. Call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
Hunger striking, snack time calling, it's crunch time. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds brings you the boldest protein-packed crunch you can't resist, with mouth-watering flavors like hot honey, sweet barbecue, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Why settle for chips when you can level up your snacking game? Plus, they're low-carb, high-protein, and made for adventurous appetites. Score big flavor today. Grab Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds at H-E-B. Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
The Lion and Rose at the Dominion, your daily happy hour spot from 3 till 7 p.m. 250 drafts, wine, wells, and bites from just $5. Big screens, bold flavors, and a patio made for post-game hangs. Lion and Rose at 23330 West I-10.
Progressive knows owning a home can be hard, but not always. Like when you're relaxing on your patio, enjoying a nice, quiet evening. So quiet. Except for the sound of the neighbor's party. Which you said you'd go to if you weren't busy. And your quiet night on the patio, that's not exactly busy, is it? Maybe you should just stay inside. At least Progressive's Home Quote Explorer lets you easily compare rates, so shopping for insurance is the easiest part of owning a home. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-499-9102. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-499-9102. That's 800-499-9102. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Sorry, Fletch, I'm on Twitter. You know, I love
this. You getting into fights there?
Well, no, not fights, but just having, some debates. Because there was a tweet that came out, again, another one, talking about the Spurs and how they're giving early signals that, they're going to draft Dylan Harper. And I retweeted that and said, well, of course they are, until somebody makes them a great offer. And then all of a sudden it's, Dylan Harper's a great player, but look at this deal. So that happens. And then somebody else responded, no, he's too good. And I'm like, okay. I've heard a lot of front offices say that. And then all of a sudden, oops, we got this guy for that. So, look, Dylan Harper is a great talent. There's no question about it. All right? No question. It's the same with Cooper Flagg. It's the same with anybody that gets drafted. And I know you guys make fun of me, but you can make fun of me all you want. You never know. You just don't know. Look, Dylan Harper played for Rutgers. All right? And I don't recall, and please correct me if I'm wrong.
They weren't in the tournament.
They weren't in the tournament. And they had two players that are going to go 1, 2, or 2 and 3, it looks like. So like, I'm just saying, he was a great player at Rutgers. He looks great at Rutgers. How will he look in a Spurs uniform against, I don't know, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? I'm just saying. That's all. I hope he's a great player. I don't wish anything bad against this guy. And I'm sure he's a great player. But will he come into the NBA? Will he have an immediate impact? Well, we don't. We don't know. If you get a veteran player, if the Spurs can pull off something for a veteran that has been here that can step in day one and, contribute, then why would you not do that? Unless I guess everybody's still on the whole we can't skip steps thing. And we've got to continue the process, and we got to be patient. We got to wait another 7 years for the playoffs, and we got to do this, and we got to do that. I can't. I can't do that. It's just difficult.
Your house must have like missing wood panels, doors.
No, the house
hinges.
looks great, but I take care of it. Right? I take care of it because if I need an upgrade, I go get an upgrade, and that's exactly what I'm telling the Spurs. Go get an upgrade. And I'm sure Dylan Harper's fine. But
the problem was they tore this thing all the way down to the studs. That's why they can't skip steps. They got to build the house again.
Well, the house is built. Now it's time to add that, 65-inch screen. It's time. Put it out there. That's what you got to do.
I think Giannis is bigger than 65 inches.
You think Giannis? And again, I mean, just think about it. Just think about it. If the Spurs were going to go out and get a Giannis, or a Lauri Markkanen, or a Cam Johnson, is anybody really telling me that you wouldn't want any of those guys versus a Dylan Harper? I mean, am I being unreasonable here? Honestly, you would not trade a Dylan Harper for one of the three guys that I just mentioned, or just bring it down to two, Lauri Markkanen or Giannis. I mean, come on. It's unbelievable. And I love this. I love Eric, and that's who I was tweeting with. But I think he secretly works for the Spurs because he seems to know them pretty well. He said Spurs are the only front office that wouldn't lie to us. They wouldn't do that. Not the Spurs.
You can't lie to somebody if you don't say anything.
Well, that's a good point, too. That's a very good point. But I appreciate the debate, whether it's on there, whether it's on our YouTube page, whether it's on the phone. It's all good. It's all good. So I appreciate the debate. I know we're getting some phone calls, and I want to go to the phone line, 656-3776, 656 ESPN. Let's go to line 2 and Mario. Mario, what's going on?
Hey, Joe. I know the Spurs have acquired a lot of picks and trades, and, that's the purpose of, acquiring these picks is to use them on veterans.
Sure.
And so why not use that stuff to go out, whether it's Giannis or someone else?
Well, I totally agree with you, and that's what I'm saying. And again, I'm sure Dylan Harper is going to be a fine basketball player. Maybe. We don't know what he's going to be like. I've seen guys coming in with promise after promise after promise and potential after potential, and then they're out of the league in 3 or 4 years. And so I agree with you, Mario. I appreciate the phone call. You can get on the line if you'd like to, 656-3776, 656 ESPN. We're talking about the Spurs and what they should do. They've got the number 2 pick, and there's been tweets out and people talking about that the Spurs are sending early signals that they are going to keep that pick and draft Dylan Harper. Dylan Harper is a point guard, shooting guard. He's in that realm, and I find it interesting. Our good friend Tom Orsborn, who works for the Express News, had a chance to visit with Dylan Harper. And while I don't have sound, I've got a quote here. Tom asked Dylan on the potential of playing with Fox and Castle, and this is what he said, quote, he said, the NBA is really positionless basketball. So, I mean, you could play with a bunch of ball handlers and a bunch of people that could get opportunities for themselves, but let other people get opportunities for them. In a respect, he's absolutely correct, right? I mean, it has turned into a positionless sport until you start looking at not having a big man to guard the rim when your 7'3" guy is out on the three-point stripe. And so I'm just I think you still have to have positions. I mean, you have to. I look at Oklahoma City with Chet Holmgren, and he plays a great part of that Thunder ball club. And they've got a great player in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and they've got a great team. I just think you're talking about if you draft Dylan Harper, which the Spurs may certainly do, then what do? You're going to play small ball is basically what you're going to do. You're going to have 3 guards on the floor unless Harper comes off the bench or Castle comes off the bench. De'Aaron Fox isn't coming off the bench. So, I mean, it just adds a lot of different things when you're talking about. And, again, Dylan Harper, I'm sure he's a great young man. I'm sure he's going to be a great player. But I would rather trade that pick for a guy that has already done it and a guy that is a veteran in this league. And I'm not talking about Giannis necessarily. Oh, that would be a dream come true if you could make it work. Lauri Markkanen would be a great trade if you could make it work. I just think a Dylan Harper has potential, but are you willing to wait another year, another 2 years? I mean, how long do you want to wait? I guess is the question I'm asking. So if you're on YouTube, I'd love to hear your answer right there. How long are you willing to wait for this Spurs team to get back into the playoffs? Or do you think just adding a Dylan Harper is going to make all the difference in the world? I don't think so personally. But if you do, I'd like to hear from you. And I'd like to hear from you here on the phone line, 656-3776, 656-ESPN. Let's go to Ricky. Ricky wants to talk about the pick. What do you think, Ricky?
Hey, Joe.
Yes, sir.
I think that with the number 2 pick, unless they get a good offer or unless Giannis says he specifically wants to come to SA, you draft Harper. But with the 14th pick, you could definitely go for someone of Bam Adebayo or you can get a KD if it's for cheap. But there's definitely a lot of options, and the Spurs are in a perfect position to for the summer.
Well, yeah, Ricky, thanks for the phone call, and I do appreciate the phone call, and I love you, Spurs fans. I do. I love you. I really do. But Spurs fans want to get Giannis or KD or Bam Adebayo for $1. I mean, see, you have to understand that to get quality, you might have to give up some quality. And those things, so if we could just trade the 14th pick to Phoenix for Kevin Durant, hey, I'm in. But do you think the Phoenix Suns would do that? No, they won't. It may require something else. You can't. I love you, Spurs fans. Yeah, and you've always been this way, and God bless you. But you're not going to get a caliber player like a KD or a Giannis or anybody else for the 14th pick in this draft. You're not going to. You got to stop thinking like that. If you want quality, you got to get quality. It's either that or you're content to use the number 2 pick and continue this so-called building process and wait and wait and wait. I'm just saying, how long are you willing to wait? How long are you willing to wait? Let's go back to the phone lines at 656-3776. Gabe, you're on the Blitz. What's up, my friend?
What up, Joe? Happy Hump Day!
Yeah.
Hump Day!
Yeah.
Joe, so I'm not going to take credit for this. I heard it from a coworker today, and if he's listening, I don't want him to tell me that I tomorrow that I stole his. But you're talking about like making a trade with the Jazz for Markkanen
Yeah.
And they're number 5, right?
Right.
And then you also mentioned a couple minutes ago about, that how we need a big man. All we really have is, besides Wemby, is like Mamu and, not a whole lot of bigs, right?
Well, Mamu's a
so
free agent.
He brought up the point.
Yeah, go ahead.
He brought up the point, trade with the Jazz, and instead of Markkanen, go after Walker Kessler. Walker Kessler was second in blocks last year in the regular season, or this past season with the Jazz, right? A rim protector. We get the 5. We can still get a quality pick. They can get their number 2, whoever they want at number 2. And at 5, I mean, I tweeted last night that I wanted Knuppel. I think he's the next Larry Bird, and I think he'd be the missing ingredient to our race for space, right? So tell me, I'll hang up and listen to you, Joe. But I think the trading with the Jazz is the right move, but Markkanen is the wrong guy. Walker Kessler is who I think.
All right, Gabe. Well, hey, that's another name to throw into the mix. There's no doubt about it. By the way, the Duke Blue Devils sent the Spurs a little message and said they should draft Knuppel at number 2 is where they said he should go. So they want Cooper Flagg at 1 and Knuppel at 2. I'm not sure that he's there, but I love this guy as a shooter. He's a hell of a shooter. Certainly was at Duke. Now, will he be in the NBA? We just don't know, do we? We just don't know. But I'd like to have that kid. If you had the number 5 pick from the Utah Jazz, you might use it there. You've still got a lot of options. But again, the Spurs, according to the so-called experts, are signaling that they're going to keep that number 2 pick and take Dylan Harper. So we'll see what they do. Look, we got a lot of road to travel between now and the draft in June 25th. We got a lot of road to travel before then. Let's head back to the phone lines. 656-3776, 656-ESPN. Martin, thanks for calling, man. Welcome to the Blitz.
How you doing, gentlemen?
Doing well.
They need to trade the number 2. They need to get Giannis, and let me tell you why. Look at the Rangers when they got Simeon and Seager, and boom, World Series. Just go for it. You'll get a World Series, and then players look around and look San Antonio. Let's go there. Could you imagine Giannis and Wemby together? And that's going to bring jersey sales. That's going to bring you in money. That's all I got to say, gentlemen.
Appreciate it, Martin. Thanks for the phone call. And yes, I think Giannis would be very exciting here. My concern is with Giannis, you still need some pieces around those guys. You still need some depth, and you're going to have to give up a lot. Look, and I know everybody talks about if you haven't seen our Instagram post and our Twitter post, when Pledge put that mock trade for Giannis out there, people are losing their minds. To get a future Hall of Famer and a 2-time MVP is not going to be for a bag of chips. Okay, it's not. Now, I will give the Spurs a lot of credit. They didn't have to give up diddly for De'Aaron Fox. But De'Aaron Fox is not Giannis Antetokounmpo. Okay, he's not. And the Milwaukee Bucks are not going to let him go for a bag of chips. And I'm not even sure that he wants to come here. So there's that. Lauri Markkanen is another name that's been brought up. Kessler, he's going to need a new contract coming up pretty soon. But none of that matters. If you think you can find the pieces to bring in here and do the job, then let's do it. I just am not of the ilk right now to use the number 2 pick on anybody and just wait and hope that Dylan Harper is the guy. He very well may be. He very well may be. But I just think with Dylan Harper, Fox, Wemby, and Castle, there's still some holes to fill there. There are. And I would just like to go out and see that thing fixed sooner rather than later. All right, it's just about 5 o'clock, by the way. And I'm not saying to call in because I don't want you to right now. But during the 5 o'clock hour, we're going to qualify a lucky listener to win 2 wristbands to the ACL Fest 2025. All right. A lot of folks there. 2 weekends. This is for weekend number 2, by the way, October 10th through the 12th. Sabrina Carpenter, Hosier, Doja Cat, Luke Combs. I'm interested to see if Sabrina Carpenter wears anything. Sometimes she does, sometimes she doesn't. Either way, if you qualify, you're a winner because you're going to get a $50 gift card to the Mellow Mushroom at 1604 in Stone Oak. And if you don't want to wait, You got to just lock in your tickets now, although I hear they're going fast. ACLfest.com. Go there, see if those tickets are still available, and if nothing's ever sold out. All right, so if you need tickets, you can find them. But we will be doing that in the 5 o'clock hour. We're also going to be talking to Payton Pardee coming up here at 5:15. He is the interim head coach of the San Antonio Brahmas. They have another Friday night game this Friday, and they played well last Friday. They really did play well, so maybe this team is starting to get over that hump and starting to figure it out. Offensively, they played extremely well. So we'll talk to Payton Pardee coming up, and we'll take more of your phone calls. You want to continue to play GM for the Spurs? I'm here for it. I might argue with you what you say, but that's okay. You might argue with me too. We'll do that when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
10-yard line, touchdown Vegas. What a wild finish.
Your home for the NFL.
This is a special notice to all U.S. taxpayers with back taxes to the IRS. Billions in tax relief is now being made available to struggling taxpayers, giving thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars in savings away to those who qualify. If you're facing wage garnishment, threatening letters, audits, liens, levies, or already in a payment plan, you can now expedite the resolution to your tax problem, end collections, and even qualify to reduce a large portion of what you owe. Stop IRS Debt has established a relief hotline for you to call to check what savings and options you qualify for. Dial 800-298-7182. With many people facing job loss and rising cost of living, these special IRS initiatives are designed to aid delinquent taxpayers with the relief that they need to get a fresh start. For a free consultation to see what savings you qualify for, call 800-298-7182. 800-298-7182. 800-298-7182.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149. For more than half a century, contractors and trade professionals have relied on WeatherGuard for heavy-duty truck and van storage equipment, not just to protect their tools, but to protect their professional reputations. Whether it's inside or outside of work vehicles, a WeatherGuard badge means pros can trust that their hard-earned name is in good hands. Since 1968 and every day since, WeatherGuard has been protecting anything it takes to build a professional reputation. WeatherGuard, established in 1968, proven every day. WeatherGuard.com.
When your business needs an electrician, for over 35 years, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio. Powered by relationships with dedicated estimators who analyze the issue, research cost-effective solutions, and clearly communicate the options without charging you a dime. A proven process that allows you to continue focusing on your unique purpose. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or hill-electric.com.
Hey, listen up, San Antonio. Multiple tours overseas, long nights monitoring cyber activity, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training. We call that credit where credit is due. Whether you're active duty and looking at what's next, or a veteran looking for something new, our degrees and certificate programs teach the application of emerging technologies and enduring life skills. So get started on a degree or certificate with personalized local support services and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. UMGC keeps your educational goals attainable with no-cost digital materials replacing textbooks in most courses, reduced tuition rates for eligible service members and their families, and scholarships for those who qualify. Get started here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your boat, boat wins.
What are you going to do? Take the boat out for a spin or go mail something? Boat wins! Are we cleaning the patio or taking the boat out fishing? Boat wins! Are we skipping that eye exam to go sailing? Boat wins!
Rescheduling eye exams can be a nightmare.
All right, fine. Eye exam, then boat.
Yeah!
With Progressive, you can bundle your boat with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings on your boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states and situations.
Transform your water with Connecticut. For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with a trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. The offer ends soon. Call Connecticut today.
With Progressive Snapshot, you could save on auto insurance rates by driving safely, which is nice because you can just keep doing you. So keep on using that broken phone charger because it occasionally works. Keep quoting something you heard on a podcast as your own. Keep ignoring your sister's texts while you drive and after. And when baggage claim says, have a great trip, keep on saying, you too. And keep driving safely, and you could save with Snapshot from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
We've got some NBA playoff basketball tonight. The Knicks look to close out the Boston Celtics. Of course, Boston without Jason Tatum. He suffered a torn Achilles in Monday night's loss, underwent surgery yesterday. Tip-off from Boston with the Knicks leading that series 3-1 is set for 6 o'clock. That's going to be followed up by the Minnesota Timberwolves trying to end the Warriors season. The T-Wolves also up 3-1. Tip-off there set for 8:30.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Oh, my goodness. My goodness, my goodness. You know, there's some days, Pledge, where you just want to pull your hair out. But I'm not going to do that because it's hump day. Hump day? Yeah. Hope everybody's having a great hump day. And if you're getting off work right now, congratulations. Happy for you. We've got an hour to go here, but it's a jam-packed hour. We've got a lot to give away. We've got some Brahmas tickets we're going to give away coming up here in just a moment. And we're going to qualify one listener for 2 wristbands to the ACL Fest. The second weekend, October 10th through the 12th. Either way, if you're a qualifier today, you are going to get a $50 gift card to the Mellow Mushroom, which is a heck of a deal. So if you don't win the wristband, you're still going to get a heck of a deal. Good pizza, greatest happy hour in town. I'm telling you, it is fantastic. So I'm talking a lot about Spurs basketball and what they should do with that number 2 pick. And it's gone all over the place. And like good fans should be, they're trying to get a haul for nothing. And maybe it's because the Spurs did such a great job with De'Aaron Fox. They didn't give up a lot. They got De'Aaron Fox. But now we want to trade the 14th pick for Kevin Durant and that. And now I'm being told that Dylan Harper is the next Cade Cunningham and James Harden. Okay. Well, if that's the case, then I'm going to change my mind completely. The next Cade Cunningham, the next James Harden is well. Then we need to keep that pick. I mean, I'm wondering, Pledge. I mean, if that's the case, then we need to keep that pick, don't you think?
Sure.
I mean, the next Cade Cunningham, the next James Harden. Wow.
I mean, technically, the first Cade Cunningham won Cade Cunningham until this year.
Right. That is true. Wow. I don't know. Does this guy have a reputation of being a flopper?
Harden comparison?
Yes, of course it's a Harden comparison. Goodness gracious. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe that is accurate. Who knows? We'll see. I just know the Spurs or any front office wouldn't lie or stretch the truth or say something just to get a better pick and to make people think that they're not moving off of that. Front offices just don't do that. They just don't.
I'm not a system player. I am a system.
Nice. Yeah, front offices would never do that. They would never, it's going to be lying season between now and June 25th for a lot of people. The Mavericks have already come out and said they're not going to. They definitively said they're not trading the number 1 pick. The Spurs haven't said that. All we're getting is the early indications are that the Spurs are going to keep that number 2 pick and take Dylan Harper. And again, if they do that, they do that. And if that's what they want to do, I mean, look, it's hard to argue against a franchise that's been as successful as they have been. However, it's been 7 years since we've been in the playoffs. The Spurs have been lucky twice in the lottery. The last 2 years, they've done great in the draft. So with Wemby, which was a no-brainer, kind of like the flag pick this year, Stephon Castle, good pick by the Spurs at number 4 last year. Great pick by the Spurs. He's turned out to be the real deal. So maybe Harper is, and maybe he is the next. And if he is, then, well, I won't have to do anything because I hope he succeeds. I'm just hoping they trade it for a veteran player that I know is good and not have to think about whether he's the next Cade Cunningham or James Harden. Do we want the next James Harden? I'm not sure. Early in his career, absolutely yes. We want that. So again, we're asking you. Pledge has got a couple of mock trade ideas out there. One is for Giannis. Another one is for with the Utah Jazz for Lauri Markkanen. And we're getting a great response on all of this. This is how it kind of started the Twitter debate that I'm having now with some of these folks on Twitter. It's just fun to debate this stuff because everybody's got an opinion, and I love that. I really do love the debate, whether I agree with you or not. I love the debate, and I want you to have your opinion. I just want it to be a serious opinion, not trade the 14th pick for LeBron James and Kevin Durant and Giannis. It's got to be a serious thing. And look, if you want quality, the Milwaukee Bucks are not going to let Giannis go for the 14th pick and Mamu Kilishvili. All right, they're not going to. It's not going to happen. So if you want quality, you're going to have to give up quality. My question is, and what we've posed to on our socials is the fact that is it too much? That mock to me was too much. And I know Giannis is a great player, but I think it just depletes everything that you have. And while I'd love to see Giannis Antetokounmpo here, I just think that's way too much to give away for him. And the Lauri Markkanen mock trade proposal, I'm all in because you're not giving up that much. Plus, you're giving up the 2 to get the 5 in that proposal. And I'm not sure Utah would do that, but they need to rebuild. But they might want to rebuild around him. He just signed a new deal. He's on the hook for the next 4 years, which is another attractive piece to that puzzle. It would solve a lot of things. It would solve the big man problem that could defend the rim. And look, Markkanen can shoot. The guy can shoot. So it solves a lot of problems, and so we'll see what happens. But we're going to be talking about this a lot. You know it, between now and draft time. And there's going to be stuff coming out every day. Tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised if we have another mock draft trade proposal involving the Spurs, because the Spurs, y'all, and no matter what you think they're going to do, they're in a great position right now with the draft capital that they have. They are in a phenomenal situation right now, and I don't think it gets any better than what they have right now. So if you're going to make a move, to me, now is the time to make a big move. And I think, look, I personally think that they will, just simply because of what they did this season with De'Aaron Fox. I think they're ready to do something. All right, so we'll wait and see. And everybody's going to have their opinion, and that's fantastic, and we'll continue to talk about it. Right now, though, we're going to talk a little Brahmas football when we come back, because Payton Pardee, the interim head coach of the San Antonio Brahmas, is going to join us when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. In the meantime, though, I need to tell you about Stevens Roofing. Love talking about Stevens Roofing. They're the absolute best in the business. There is no question about that. A family-owned company. They're a local company, and they're not going anywhere. If you need them after they do work for you, they're going to be there. They're going to answer the phone. They're going to come out and fix any issue that you have and answer any question that you have. That's just who they are, and that's how they've stayed in business for all of this time. They're the absolute best. And if you think there's something wrong with your roof, we've had a couple of thunderstorms, or you think you have some hail damage, or you just want to make sure that it's okay, right now, Stevens Roofing and Solar will send a crew out when you call them at 210-785-0994 and give you a free no obligation roof inspection. They'll go up and they'll tell you, hey, your roof's in pretty bad shape. You might want to think about getting a new one. Or there's a little spot there on the left-hand side that needs a repair. We can take care of that for you. Or they may come down and say, you know what, your roof is in tip-top shape. There's nothing you need to do. And either way, it's going to give you the peace of mind. You're going to know what to do. And it's going to be there. You're going to take care of it. They're going to take care of it. And everybody's going to feel a lot better when we head into this hot, hot summer. No doubt about it. Stevens Roofing and Solar, they are the best. They're here to protect you, your home, and your family. Give them a call, 210-785-0994.
Guys, summer is here. Time for gatherings, time with friends, family, activities, vacations. But how are you going to do that if you're dealing with low energy caused by low testosterone? The answer is simple. TRT from Synergenics and Low T Center. Go to fixmylowt.com to book that first appointment. You might see those online TRT services and think they're convenient, but really the hassle just even getting started. You end up spending hundreds of dollars and wasting time with unreliable test kits, and you wait for days for lab results before you even begin treatment. They say you meet with the doctor, but sometimes you don't even see an actual person on screen. Do you want to trust your health to a chat? Worst of all, you have to wait again to get your meds in the mail. Not really quality care. Trust the experts at Synergenics and Low T Center. They've been changing patients' lives for a combined 25 years. Most major insurances are accepted, so you have no excuse. Book that first appointment now at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
Gentlemen, testosterone levels can start dropping in your 30s, leading to low energy, reduced libido, and slower metabolism. Rock's Discount Vitamins is making it easy to take back control. No appointments and no prescriptions. Just head into a Rock's and walk out with a natural solution tailored to you. Our powerful line of natural testosterone boosters can help increase energy, build muscle, rev up your metabolism, and reignite your drive. You'll feel the difference and fast. Visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God in South Texas.
Looking for a place with character, cold drinks, and real Texas charm? Pull up a chair at the Lion and Rose in the Dominion. This local favorite, run by the Tharp family, serves up Southern hospitality, military pride, and seriously good food. Happy hour daily from 3 till 7 p.m. with $2.50 drafts, select wine, wells, and mimosas. Plus, tasty bites from just $5. Big screens, bold flavors, and a patio made for post-game hangs. Now open at 23330 West I-10. The Lion and Rose.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collision since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Progressive knows not all rides are smooth. Meet Peter. He loves his motorcycle. What he doesn't love is wind. Which is ironic because wind is a big part of the whole wind in your face motorcycle cliche. But nobody ever tells you how relentless a strong crosswind is, or the cliche wouldn't exist. Not every ride is smooth, but Progressive has your back. Get a quote to see if you can save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, not available in D.C.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's the San Antonio Brahmas Roundup with interim head coach Payton Pardee on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
We're back on the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. Jason Minix with the day off. James Pledger producing this extravaganza. And we appreciate you coming along for the ride, especially right now because it's always a thrill to talk with the interim head coach of the San Antonio Brahmas, Payton Pardee, who's joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. And Coach Pardee, first of all, how you doing on this hump day?
I tell you what, I'm not going to lie. I'm normally used to this show being later in the week when we play on a Sunday, so my days are off a little bit. But I promise you this, I'm doing phenomenal.
Oops, hang on one second. It sounds like we lost the signal for you there for just a second. We'll get it back. And Payton Pardee joining us. There you are. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Can y'all hear me?
I got you now.
Perfect.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got you. All right, looking at the game on Friday night, big game. Our good friend Marcy Grace was there singing a bunch of songs, and so that was impressive. And you guys, you keep telling us your team's improving, and I tell you what, I think we saw it on Friday night.
No, I appreciate you saying that. Friday night this past week was, like you said, it was an unbelievable environment. The fans were incredible. Obviously still have some things to clean up, but I'm really, really proud of our team. I think we took, several massive steps forward in a lot of areas. And like I said, that, our team, the one thing that I will absolutely, be forever grateful to them for is they fight till the very, very end. And I'm really, really optimistic and excited to see the progress that we're going to make off of last week's game going into this weekend against the Showboats.
Well, Coach Pardee, just looking at, we always talk quarterbacks, but Kevin Hogan had a really nice game for you. Is that an opportunity, or just a guy getting an opportunity and taking advantage of it?
I think absolutely. And, I'm sure everybody thinks I'm, crazy, when I've said in the past, that we have a really, really talented quarterback room. We've got 3 really, really good quarterbacks. And, Kevin Hogan, I'm so proud of what he has been able to do and the progress he's shown, dating back to camp to where we are right now going into week 8. And I really think what we are all starting to see is, that confidence and comfort begin to show up with him in this system. And he's truly, I cannot sing his praises enough. He's a phenomenal leader of men. He's a very talented quarterback. And I'm really, really proud. I think he had a really great game and did a lot of great things that don't always show up on the stat sheet. But I'm really looking forward to see his progression into his 3rd week as a starter.
Visiting with Payton Pardee, the interim head coach of the San Antonio Brahmas. And, Coach, I would imagine as a head coach, even as a coordinator, if you get a little confidence in your quarterback, things just feel a little bit better all the way around.
Absolutely. And I think, with Kevin specifically, what you saw in that game is, you saw a lot of things that you really look forward and hope to see, in a quarterback. And that being, I thought he moved the pocket really well. He delivered the ball well on time, was really, overall really good with his decisions. And then, the element and dynamic that everybody always has to prepare for is his run threat and run ability. And I think that's something that a lot of people, may or may not take, for granted with him. But I'm really, really pleased with what he did in that game and just his strong presence and leadership on the sideline. I'm really, really proud of Kevin.
And, Coach Pardee, a good quarterback always needs a good running game, and that showed up in Friday night's game last week, too. That's got to be impressive. Like I said, it looked like everything is starting to take shape for the Brahmas.
Absolutely. Progress, and especially with everything that our team has been through this year, it's something that we've placed a huge emphasis on, with our team is we can't be 100%, result oriented. You have to trust the process. You have to focus on improving each and every week. And, I know I've talked about with you guys as well as with our team, football is a lot like life in the fact of it's about trying to get better each and every day, learn from the mistakes that we make, try not to make them twice, and continue to progress and get better. And I think like I said, I'm really proud of our team because we're starting to see that, begin to show up. And you said it best, man, that run game was electric on Friday. And I tip my hat to the offensive line and to our running backs. And, obviously Kevin had some great runs in there. So that absolutely is a huge part of a dynamic and successful offense, in my opinion.
Well, Payton, I think the fact that I know you feel better about things, you see the progression, but the players can see that as well. And they've got to feel a little bit better about what they're doing. I would imagine getting ready for this game on Friday night, they've got a little more confidence too, because all of a sudden things just seem to be clicking a little better than they were.
Absolutely. And, that's one thing I will say about this team is, regardless of our record, this was probably the best week of preparation we've had. And this team, they have a never quit mentality. The attitude was in a really good spot this week overall when looking at the team collectively. And I'm really, really excited about the direction that we're heading with this football team.
Payton Pardee, the interim head coach of the San Antonio Brahmas, joining us here on the Blitz. And Payton, you guys have the Memphis Showboats coming into town. What's so nice about the end of the schedule? I know it was a rough start because a lot of road games, but you finish out at home. You got 3 games left. They're all at home. The Memphis Showboats this Friday night. I know you have nothing to do with it, so this is probably a knucklehead question, but do you like playing on Friday nights?
I've actually been asked that before, and I'll be honest with you, I actually do. I myself, I was a part of the Legacy XFL back in 2023, and we had a Thursday night game during that season. And I think the variety of game days, I really think is something unique. And especially, I said this to the referees before the game on the sideline in San Antonio. There's nothing more neat than professional football and a Friday Night Lights style in the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas. So, it's definitely unique and new for us, obviously, this year. But it's something that I've really enjoyed, and I think it provides an extra layer of entertainment for the fans and for everybody around the state of Texas and regionally that's watching us. I think it's a great addition.
Well, the cherry on top there, Payton, is the fact that you guys are the only game on TV. You're on Fox, and everybody's eyes are on the San Antonio Brahmas, and they certainly will be this week against the Memphis Showboats. That's, I don't know, does that? You probably don't think about it, but you guys, the spotlight's on when you're playing on Friday night.
Absolutely, and for me personally, I'm just excited that we have another game and that we get to play. But I think you hit the nail on the head. It's a great opportunity for our players. Obviously, our roster, we have guys from all over the country. And I think, that is a really, valuable thing for them and their families where they can watch, their sons and, daughters and brothers and whatnot play. And so I'm really excited about it. And then, obviously, it's, like I said, it's special to be able to play pro football in San Antonio on Friday.
Well, I got to tell you, Payton, do you have to catch yourself sometimes now? I know the replay officials get under your skin a little bit, or they did the one time. Do you think about that now?
I tell everybody I consider myself to have a very energetic and positive attitude. The one thing that I'd say I might be trying to do a little bit more is choose my words more carefully. But, at the end of the day, I tell all the refs, I do my very best. I like to think I'm respectful. And, I think we have a great working relationship. All the referee crews that I've been able to work with this season, we try to have a little bit of fun during the game.
Well, I tell you what, Peyton, I think every Brahma fan will tell you that they would prefer you do that because they're probably screaming at the TV or screaming there at the stadium the same way you are. Like, what are you thinking? So I think it's okay. I think they'll give you a pass on that for sure. The Memphis Showboats, what do you got to prepare for with these guys?
You know, they're a unique team. They're in somewhat of a similar position to us. You know, obviously they've had some quarterback changes on their own, an offensive style change, and different personnel moves and things of that nature. And, you know, what I'll say about the Showboats, you know, briefly about their offense and defense is offensively, you know, I think they run the football very well. And that's something that they do at a high level. I think they've got dynamic playmakers on the perimeter, and really kind of like us in a manner. They've got quarterbacks like multiple that are very talented, and that's kind of, you know, led to a little bit of a spark for them in the back end of the season. And then on the defensive side, you know, they're a unique structure as far as how they align. They're really the only team in our league that, you know, majors and bases out of a 3-down front. And so that's been fun for us this week to be able to prepare for that because it's unique. You know what I mean? Some of the scheme and stuff that takes place, you have to make slight modifications to try to attack what you're getting from their defense. But I think on all three phases, offense, defense, and special teams, I think we're really excited about the challenge this week, and I'm personally really excited about how we match up.
Well, I've got to ask you, Peyton, as we visit with Payton Pardee, the interim head coach of the San Antonio Brahmas here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Peyton, you mentioned you told Pledge before you came on the air you were impressed with the crowd on Friday night. I think Friday night's a good night for folks in San Antonio. You go out, you can have some fun on a Friday night, maybe not have to get up so early on Saturday morning. You guys need a big crowd. That always helps, doesn't it?
Absolutely, and I can't emphasize this enough. What the city of San Antonio has done for us, you know, in our 2 home games that we've had has been truly, you know, it's been spectacular. And I can't thank everybody that's come to the games enough for just not only coming, but man, they're rowdy and they're loud and energetic, and it is a difference maker, and it's something that's special. And I think it's something that also sets apart, you know, the San Antonio Brahmas and our home venue being the Alamo Dome. And I just want to encourage the fans. We are looking forward to putting on a show on Friday night, and we're really, really excited to get back home.
All right, Peyton, I need you to do me a favor. I'm going to put you to work here for just a minute. We've got a family 4-pack of tickets to give away for Friday night's game. You got to tell what's your favorite number?
Shoot, my favorite number, I'll go 5.
Caller number 5, you will win a 4-pack of tickets to go see the Brahmas take on the Memphis Showboats this Friday night inside the Alamo Dome. So all you have to do, 656-3776, 656-ESPN. Coach Pardee, we appreciate you joining us, sir, and I tell you, best of luck to you on Friday night.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for having me. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Payton Pardee, the interim head coach of the San Antonio Brahmas, joining us courtesy of Buyers Barricades Guest Line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond online at buyersbarricades.com. Again, caller number 5 wins a 4-pack of tickets to go see the Brahmas take on the Memphis Showboats this Friday night inside the Alamo Dome. It's going to be a lot of fun. There is no question about that. We also still have to qualify a person, a listener, for the ACL Festival 2025. We're going to do that here coming up in just a few minutes. Not now. You call now. You're trying to win San Antonio Brahmas tickets this Friday night. It's not ACL. We're waiting until the end. Maybe. We'll see. But we're going to wrap things up with NBA playoffs. And if you still want to call about what you think about trades, anything like that, we're just going to kind of wrap it up, have some fun here in the last 30 minutes of the show. But we will be giving away those ACL tickets. So, or the qualify you for the ACL wristbands. That is coming up. So don't go anywhere. We're back here on San Antonio Sports Star, The Blitz. We'll be right back. First, I got to tell you about Connecticut. I've got a Connecticut quality water softener in my home, and I absolutely love it. It is the best in the world. And again, if you listen to the show, you've heard me say this before, but I really didn't think there was going to be any difference. I was skeptical. They put it in my house, and day one, I knew that there was a big difference in what I had before and what I have now in a Connecticut quality water softener. It is just unbelievable, the difference. The showers feel better. The clothes come out cleaner. Your dishes are cleaner. And you don't have to worry about something happening to your pipes or your appliances wearing out early because of the hard water that we have here in San Antonio and South Texas. That's not going to happen with a Connecticut quality water softener. What I love about this thing is it doesn't run on electricity. Does not. It runs on that they call kinetic energy. I'm not sure what it is, but it works very well, and it provides soft water to you when you need it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And right now they've got one heck of a deal. For a limited time, you're going to get a free reverse osmosis drinking station that those folks will install right there at your kitchen sink. I have one. It's like having bottled water right there at your kitchen sink. It is incredible. They'll also give you $400 trade-in of your old water softener. And how about some free money? Everybody wants some free money, right? 0% interest for 12 months. You heard me right. 0% interest for 12 months. You don't want to wait. This offer could end at any time. Call Connecticut of San Antonio in the Hill Country. The numbers to call, 656-PURE, 656-7873, or you can get them online at ConnecticutSA.com. And you know the jingle. Sing it with me. It's the last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle, we've got a full NFL schedule release to look at.
And are we waving goodbye to Golden State? Lots to talk about. Basketball on the forefront. Get here early. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Does this sound like your marriage? Wake up and realize that there's a better life waiting. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. At Barton & Associates, we specialize in navigating the complexities of divorce law, protecting your best interests, and ensuring you're not left vulnerable. Divorce is tough, but here's the thing. You have a choice. You can either let your spouse dictate the terms, or you can take control of the process and secure your future. If you're serious about protecting yourself and securing your financial future, Barton & Associates is the team you need. Call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-MILLION. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. If you're tired of this, then start your better life today with Barton & Associates. Visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
With Progressive Snapshot, you could save on auto insurance rates by driving safely, which is nice because you can just keep doing you. So keep on using that broken phone charger because it occasionally works. Keep quoting something you heard on a podcast as your own. Keep ignoring your sister's texts while you drive and after. And when baggage claim says, have a great trip, keep on saying, you too. And keep driving safely. And you could save with Snapshot from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $32.99 at O'Reilly Auto Parts. In-store only. Limit supply.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The San Antonio Brahmas return to the Alamo Dome this Friday, May 16th for their Hats Off to Heroes game presented by Crisis Human Performance. Join the Brahmas in honoring our nation's heroes at this special military and first responders appreciation night. Fans are encouraged to wear yellow in support of service members as the team battles the Memphis Showboats. Plus, the first 2,000 fans receive a free Brahmas hat. Get tickets at UFLBrahmas.com. That's UFLBrahmas.com. Our town, our team, our herd.
Joel, I'm proud to introduce my latest in-summer relaxation relief-cation. I call it the Quarter Moon Grill and Go. It's a stainless steel propane gas grill with this, a full-size urinal. If you're gonna grill and you gotta go, it's the Grill and Go.
Folks, at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, we fix plumbing and AC issues fast and at a fair price. 210-651-5899.
Grill and
go away. way, Nigel. Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat and AC.
License number TACLA 141074E M16004.
At the Institute for Functional Health, we are dedicated to helping you live life fully, playing with your kids, golfing, and feeling great without relying on pills. We're not about treating symptoms temporarily. We're about extending your health span, the years you live in good health. I'm Dr. Torres, and for over a decade, my team has transformed lives by tackling health issues at the root. Tired of medications without real answers? Take control of your health with us. Call 210-468-1891 for a free Discovery Day consultation or visit IFFhealth.com. Improve your health span today.
Get ready for Camping World's Red, White, and New Trade event, May 15th through the 18th. Get the highest value for your RV guaranteed during the biggest RV trade event of the year. Shop the best RV deals in America with new RVs starting as low as $92 a month. Get ready for the holiday weekend with up to 45% off grills and 25% off product installation. Plus, we'll have free hats, free propane refills, free food, and fun for the whole family. Don't miss the incredible Red, White, and New Trade event, May 15th through the 18th at your local Camping World.
See dealer for full details and disclaimer.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is gearing up to send you to the Austin City Limits Music Festival. 9 stages, 2 weekends, and more big-time artists than at Texas tailgates. October 3rd through the 5th, and again October 10th through the 12th in the live music capital of the world. We're talking Sabrina Carpenter, Hosier, Doja Cat, Luke Combs, The Strokes, John Summit, Doechii, Faith, and whole mess of other stars lighting up Zilker Park. Listen to the Morning Huddle and the Blitz this week for your chance to win a pair of 3-day wristbands to Weekend 2. We're picking one winner on each show this Friday, and every qualifier scores a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom at 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. Cold drinks, hot pizza, and ACL wristbands. That's a Texas-sized jackpot. Want to lock in your tickets now? Head to aclfest.com. All this week, it's ACL giveaways. Only on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Making everybody wait till the last minute. So at some point in time here over the next, 15 minutes or so, I'm just going to say ACL. Not now, but that's what I'm going to say. And if you remember the keyword, you give that to Pledge when you call in, and you will qualify for the ACL Festival wristbands, all right? And if you qualify again, you're going to get a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. So you are a winner either way. I just saw something here that I think is fantastic. Charles Barkley was interviewed on 3, the website On 3, about NIL. This is a quote from Sir Charles. He says, quote, "I've given more money to Auburn, legal or illegal, than any athlete in the history of the school. And the notion that I'm going to come up with a couple $1 million every year so that we can be good at basketball and football, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard." Which is what we've been talking about, is it not? That eventually, even rich guys like Charles Barkley are going to get tired of writing checks to schools. They're going to. And there you go, one. And the more I see stuff from Charles Barkley, the more I think that he and I have the same brain in a lot of ways. Now, I've got a much better golf swing than he does. That's for sure. But we think a lot alike. And to me, that's great, because I like Charles Barkley. Had the opportunity to meet him a couple of times. He's a very nice man, and I really do like him. So if I got to share a brain with somebody, Charles Barkley would be okay.
Rather share a wallet with him.
Well, yes, much. Yes, exactly right. Oh, my gosh. Sam on our YouTube page says, just thought you should know, he said, at Joe Reinagle, I got hot and sweaty listening to you because I've walked 1.5 miles up hills and down in this weather. Sam, I'm sorry about that, brother. But appreciate you listening. Just know you are appreciated, my friend. That is for sure. A lot of the show's been talking about what the Spurs are going to do at number 2. And it's come out today from, you're going to have to remind me, the ESPN guy, what's his name?
Jonathan
Givony. Now, listen to Jonathan Givony and what he has to say about the number 2 pick for the Spurs.
Dylan Harper is going to be the number 2 pick in the draft. I am 99.9% sure about it. He looked also really, really good, tested very well, shot it well. His body is in a great place. He's lost 15 pounds in the last years. He's also grown. He has measurements comparable to those of Dwayne Wade coming out of college. The San Antonio Spurs are signaling to teams that they are very excited about the opportunity to draft Dylan Harper. They are not pursuing trades from what we're hearing. They think that they can play Dylan Harper together with Steph Castle and De'Aaron Fox in the same backcourt. Obviously, teams have some question marks about the amount of shooting on that roster. That's something that they are probably going to address at a later stage. Dylan Harper is the second best prospect in this draft. He will go second, I believe.
Well, and that was the first we had heard about that, because we're all talking about mock trades and everything else that the Spurs could do with that number 2 pick. And now, at least early on, and I've seen it several different places, that the early indications, according to sources, are that the Spurs are going to keep the number 2 pick and draft Dylan Harper. And then we hear from the coverage at the basketball combine from ESPN, and this was said.
I think that's the flexibility that they have. I mean, and talking to some of their executives while I was down there on the floor off mic, they're saying, we're back. Like, they feel like they're back right now. And the reason why they feel they're back is exactly what you guys were just talking about. There's multiple pathways for the San Antonio Spurs. Do they continue to build through the draft? Because obviously with Castle and Wembanyama the last 2 years, they've been outstanding. So can they get another piece in this year's draft and say, hey, we're going to play a little bit longer game, but still have that capital moving forward that we can be flexible with? Or if things open up and you have a Giannis Antetokounmpo or Kevin Durant, and you feel like you can go get them, this is a team that, Bobby, correct me if I'm wrong, salary cap-wise, really healthy, draft capital-wise, really strong, that can go out and make a strong push. And all of a sudden now, if you took Wemby, Fox, and Castle, would you all assume those 3 guys are untouchable? And you add in Giannis, come on, pretty good.
I don't know. Are they untouchable? Wemby, Castle, and Fox? Probably. But there was some skepticism there that you heard. The bottom line is the Spurs have some flexibility to do whatever they want to do. I don't think there's any question about that, and they're in a great position to do whatever it is they want to do. By the way, you can call right now to qualify for the ACL Fest 2025. Give Pledge the keyword that I have been giving you throughout the show. The first caller to do that will be qualified for those wristbands, and you'll also get a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. 656-3776, 656-ESPN.
And if you notice, when he said, talking about Harper and the flexibility and everything, then he transitions to the trades, and to transition to the trades, he said, and if things open up.
Yes.
Which leads me to believe that if prices come down, they would be more apt to take a big swing, but they're not willing to give up a lot of assets or future picks in terms of pursuing a Giannis or a KD.
Which is why, Pledge, and you know this as well as anybody, some Spurs fans don't, that front offices will come out and say, we love this Dylan guy. We love him. Dylan Harper, he's great. We think we can make him work. He's fantastic. Have you seen this guy? He's awesome. Don't try to tell me that the Spurs are the only front office in the history of front offices that don't just stretch the truth a little bit. And not that he's not a great talent. I'm not saying that, but they'll pump him up to get that price down. And it's like, we got to take a look, man. We could really use this on the Utah Jazz team, or we could really use this as a Milwaukee Buck, or that guy would fit perfectly with Team X over here. Front offices do this. They will continue to do this. They will throw out things this day, this week, next week, 2 weeks from now, and they'll do it. Spurs may be in love with Dylan Harper. They may be. And I wouldn't blame them for being in love with this guy. He's a hell of a player. But they may want to bring the price down a little bit, and you've got to wonder about that. And that's the way you play the game. It's exactly the way you play it. So that's what they're doing. And we'll see if they're being truthful or if they're stretching the truth a little bit. But if somebody comes to them with an offer that gives them a Lauri Markkanen or another player that they may need, a shooter, a big man, whatever the heck it may be, trust me, number 2 will be gone. And I'm not talking about that other number 2. I'm talking about this current number 2. It will be gone. It's just the way the game is played. And if you think anything else, then I got a bridge in, I don't know, Arizona to sell you somewhere. But it's going to be fun, and the next few weeks are going to be a lot of fun as we get set for the NBA draft and start to hear these things. There should be something else again tomorrow. Who knows what's going to come out? Congratulations to whoever won the or whoever qualified for the ACL Fest. Is that what you call it? The ACL. This is what I'm going to say. For those wristbands for that on October 10th through the 12th, and also the Mellow Mushrooms. Congrats to you. That will be our third qualifier. All right, we've got 2 more qualifiers to go. We'll do one again tomorrow, and then we'll do one on Friday, and we'll probably do that one early. And then we'll pick a winner on Friday. Fred is our winner. Is that Fred on our YouTube page? All right, congrats, Fred. Way to go. He was ready. He was ready to rock. But we'll do this again tomorrow. And again, if you're listening to the Morning Huddle, they will qualify somebody else tomorrow as well. And they'll pick a winner on Friday also, as will we. So a lot to look forward to. And again, I mean, Pledge was Mr. Generosity today, or Nick Trey was, one of the two, our promotions guy, giving us lots of stuff to give away today. They had a very generous day.
Being very, very generous today, Nick Trey was.
How about that?
You know, had a little bit of everything on the docket as well.
Yeah, everything. It was fantastic. Why not? See, Nick Trey, hump day.
Hump day.
Everybody just feels better on a hump day.
Hump day.
And I am very excited because next week we've got some tickets to give away that, well, you know about the Rangers Cardinals.
I do, yes.
We're doing that, but I saw something else just got added that it's a concert I want to go to very badly.
All right, fair enough.
Simple Plan is coming through town.
Okay, Simple Plan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not familiar with Simple Plan, but I'm sure you guys will get me familiar with Simple Plan. That's good.
I will do my best.
So we got that to look forward to as well. So what a day. I mean, it's just one of those days. And we've got playoff basketball coming up tonight, and it's going to be interesting. Will the Golden State Warriors survive?
No.
Well, I'm kind of with you there because, look, Minnesota wants to get rid of these guys. You don't want to hang around, especially knowing that Steph Curry will most likely be back if there is a Game 6. So he's not playing tonight. However, the news was today Steph Curry has been cleared to practice. But he's already been ruled out for tonight's Game 5. But he would play in a Game 6, and the T-Wolves don't want any part of that. Can Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green will these guys to a win and keep this series alive? I'm kind of with Pledge on this one, and I don't think so. I think Minnesota finishes the Golden State Warriors tonight. By the way, the other news today about the Golden State Warriors, Draymond Green was fined $50,000 by the NBA for apparently questioning the integrity of the officials after Game 4. And he kind of implied that it was about the betting point spread. It was a 5.5-point spread, 6 in some places. In Minnesota, won by 7. So he was implying that the officials might have been, I don't know if he thought they were gambling or helping out the bettors that bet Minnesota. Not sure where he was going with that, but the NBA said wherever you were going with it, it's going to cost you $50,000, and that's what they fined him today. So, but he will play tonight. Steph Curry, on the other hand, is out. Now, the Knicks can take out Boston tonight, and most likely you would think that they will. They're up 3-1. No Jason Tatum. As you've all heard, he blew his Achilles. He had surgery yesterday. I worry about this guy even coming back for next season. I mean, those Achilles injuries like this, and it's May right now. The season starts in September or October, so certainly he's not going to be available for the start of the season. And if you're talking a year, even 10 months, I mean, you're looking late in the season. We may not see Jason Tatum all next season either, which is unfortunate for that young man because, boy, he was playing his butt off in that game against the Knicks. But the Celtics have only themselves to blame for the predicament that they're in. They had 20-point leads in 3 of the games, and they lost all 3 of them. 20-point leads in all 3 of the games and blew all 3 of them. Unbelievable. They've got to figure out a way with whatever they do with that ball club to have a plan B. If the 3-pointers aren't falling, You got to have something else to go to, and it did not appear that Boston ever had anything else to go to do. So we'll see what they do. But I fully expect New York to take care of Boston. They'll meet up with the Indiana Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals, and I'm going to tell you what, I'm not going to bet against Indiana. Those guys are playing great basketball. Not only they're playing great basketball, they're a physical ball club. I mean, they just kind of beat you up. And that's what they did to Cleveland. Cleveland didn't have an answer for anything that Indiana was doing. And Tyrese Halliburton, boy, I tell you what, whoever that athletic poll that came out and called him the most underrated player in the league, if I'm Indiana, I'm praising that because it lit a fire under that young man's butt. And he just played fantastic basketball in these playoffs. So I'm looking forward to that series. And then you've got the game tomorrow with OKC. They can take out Denver, but that game is back in Denver. It's Game 6 tomorrow night. I fully expect that series to go 7 games. I really am fully expecting it to go 7 games. I think that's been the best matchup of the second round, without a doubt.
Maybe of the entire postseason.
Well, it could be, although there were a couple of good series in that. I think that Detroit-New York series was good.
It was good.
But, yeah, this has been good. And look, Denver had their chances last night. Mm-hmm. They were ahead, but Shai Gilgeous-Alexander did what superstars are supposed to do. He put the Thunder on his back in the fourth quarter and just took over that ball game. And it was just too much for Denver to overcome, and nobody else, even Joker, could not match that, what Shai was doing. And he was fantastic. I mean, the guy was simply fantastic. Put the team on his back, and, he was good. And they got the win last night. They lead that series 3-2. Game 6 in Denver tomorrow night. And that could be the last second-round series that we have if New York takes care of business tonight. Then Minnesota takes care of business tonight. Those series will be over, and the last one will be Denver and OKC. They'll have the spotlight all to themselves. It's going to be interesting to see what takes place in that. I'm going to watch some basketball tonight and see what happens there. I'm also going to watch the NFL schedule release tonight. That's coming up, and it's going to be interesting. And if you're a Cowboy fan, you're a Texan fan, or you're a fan of those command skins, which I know at least one guy is, you're going to be watching that closely to see not only who you're going to play and when. You know who you're going to play. It's just a matter of when. Those cold weather cities, are you going to Green Bay in December or September? It makes a difference. It does.
It's also going to be very interesting to see the way the schedule release happens for these teams, because it has been phenomenal as of late to see the way different teams release their schedules on social media. We've had the Chargers have been absolutely elite at it in recent years.
Yeah.
The Titans had a really good one with that girl on the street guessing the logos.
That's right.
That was a great one.
That was good.
Just the way the teams are going to go about releasing their schedules this year. I think, what was it, Jerry and them did a Landman episode or something one day?
It's almost like a promposal now, isn't it, Pledge?
It's a little bit like that.
A little bit like that,
but
right?
I enjoy the promposal.
Of course you do. You have a show tonight?
I do.
You do?
Full hours. Take you all the way up to the start of the NFL schedule release.
All the way up to the start. So stay tuned, everybody. Don't go anywhere. Extra Innings with Pledge. It's coming up next. That'll do it for the Blitz today. Thank you so much for joining us. Hope everybody has a fantastic Wednesday night. We'll see you tomorrow.
Riding I-10 with the Blitz.